Well, a very good morning and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Locke, with an E. And we are just on STV at the moment, STV and me. And, of course, Mulberry silk bedding. Now, if I was sitting with you in a pub right now, we were sitting across a table from each other, and you asked me what I thought was the best product that A, I'd ever sold, and B, I'd ever bought, I would tell you, friend to friend, unequivocally, Mulberry silk. It's the finest silk money can buy. Even if you were a Rothschild yourself and you had a suitcase full of money, you can't buy better quality silk than what we've got in these duvets. Not only that, I have a new saying that I'll introduce to our guest in a moment, but I know he's going to enjoy this. He's sitting just over there. This is a revolution for your bedroom and an evolution for your sleep. Do we like that? Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, trademark Rob Locke. No, seriously, what this bedding does is almost miraculous. We're going to make some very, very bold claims, but they just also happen to be true, and you can find out for yourself because you have an absolutely unequivocal money back. Unequivocal is the word du jour, evidently. You will get your money back if you're not completely satisfied. More about that shortly. So let's have a look. What are we talking about? Well, if you go to shopontv.co.uk, our website, you can send us a message at the top, but also we've got duvets. We haven't just got duvets. We've got the best duvets money can buy, I believe. We've got the best pillows money can buy, I believe. We've got pure silk pillow covers, both sides, front and back, which are, I believe, amongst the best pillowcases you can buy. And also my mattress. No, I'm not flogging you my mattress tonight. You can buy the mattress that I own. In fact, I'm very soon going to be the recipient of a second one, because I have one in my home in London, and now we also have a house in Warrington near the studio for our crew, and I'm about to put one on my bed in Warrington as well. You don't buy twice if you weren't happy the first time, right? Everyone in that house, by the way, has 2 Mulberry silk pillows and a king size, even though they're small double beds, except for mine, which is double. They've got a king size. Don't laugh on TikTok, stop it. Behave. TikTok's over there, sorry. So, yeah, literally, the crew house is sponsored by Mulberry Silk. Have a look at the prices we've got for you, and please stay tuned. If you tune out now, you're about to lose the best night's sleep you could ever have. Stay with us and you'll gain the best night's sleep you've ever had, we believe. Now, single... Actually, ironically, is it irony? I think it's irony. We're almost down to single figures. There are very, very few of the single. If and when you want a single, maybe for you, or perhaps for the kids' bedrooms or the spare bedroom, get that quick. Our price $139 versus the usual price of $169. The double is $239 normally, but we've got it for $179. Now, maybe you're going to do what we the crew, the Shop on TV crew have done, is even though we have double beds, we've got the king size duvets, because then you get what we like to refer to as the hotel drape. Yes. The king size, normally $259, we've got it for $199. Super king, $279, we've got it for $219. Now, just in case you're thinking, oh, Rob, that's a bit pricey for a duvet. No, you buy cheap, you pay twice. And we reckon about 20 years these will last you for. But just to be safe, they've got a 10-year guarantee. If anything goes wrong with your duvet in the next decade, it will be taken care of. No questions, no muss, no fuss. I always say that the Mulberry silk duvet is basically, quite possibly, depending on your age, the last duvet or pillow you'll ever need to buy. If you buy this for your kids now, they'll be middle-aged before it wears out. If you are middle-aged, your duvet may outlive you. So get ready, because let's get ready to rumble. Can I just say hi to everyone on TikTok, by the way? At Shop on Sam. Hello, how are you? And yes, you can email us live in the studio as well, studio@shopontv.co.uk. We're here till 3 a.m. ITV will be joining us in about 20 minutes. So come on, STV, get in there quick. Get those single duvets before that ITV mob have a go at them. You know what I mean? Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. He is one of the most decent, and I use the word decent as in decency seems to be a bit of a dying art. A man who has loyalty and honour and is in the purest definition of the word, a gentleman. He is the one and the only Ray Kennedy. Hello, Ray.
Morning, Rob.
How are you?
Good morning to all the viewers.
I'll send you the address for the cheque.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Looking forward to the show.
Let's kick it off as we always do with the duvets. Why on earth should anybody consider buying a Mulberry silk duvet?
Well, the short answer to that: comfort, hygiene,
Yep.
value for money. That's not bad for a start.
That's a pretty good start.
Basically, this duvet, there's only two parts to it: the top cover
Yep.
and the filling within the top cover. Now, the top cover is Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count.
Yes.
Anything over 180 is considered to be luxury.
Right.
So that's okay. Coincidentally, it's not regular everyday cotton.
No.
It's long fiber.
Right.
Now, to explain,
Yeah.
if cotton is picked using a machine or a mechanical device,
Yeah.
cotton becomes stressed and it breaks, and you get short fiber cotton. And I would say 95% of all the cotton sold in the United Kingdom is short fiber cotton.
Right.
If you pick it by hand, it's a different story altogether. It doesn't get stressed, it doesn't break.
Right.
And the advantage of long fiber cotton is softer. It's, ironically, although it's softer, it's longer lasting. It's nicer to touch. It's just luxury. You can hardly believe the feel to this top cover. It's just absolutely beautiful. It can be woven in a slightly different way, so it's even more breathable than regular, everyday, top quality short fiber cotton. So the top cover is something you're going to find hard to beat.
Right.
And the filling within the top cover is AAA grade Mulberry silk. Now, I would advise any viewer who's perhaps thinking of buying one of our duvets to check what I'm going to say next. For your own peace of mind, go into Google or Wikipedia, type in all about silk. Now remember, they're not trying to sell you a duvet, Rob.
No, it's
They're
factual.
just answering questions.
Yes. Yes.
And they will tell you, within the silk industry, Mulberry silk, especially AAA grade, is the highest grade and the best quality silk known to man. So top cover, perfection. Filling, perfection. You have a 10-year warranty. That's a long time.
Years.
10 years.
And what does
Now,
that mean?
we're on STV exclusively at the moment.
Yeah.
We are based in Glasgow, in the south side of Glasgow. We guarantee everything we sell. If you don't like it, we will refund your money. No arguing, no fighting on the telephone, no long discussions. Don't like it, instant refund. We've been selling silk for 36 years, and we've been in business for 66 years. So we are a company who have a stellar reputation for quality. So this is something special. I would advise any viewer when you buy it to look at it as an investment. We estimate when you buy this duvet, it will last you the best part of your adult life. The duvets we have in my bed at home are 29 years old.
Wow.
My wife washes them on average 2 or 3 times a year. Wash them a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. Oh, incidentally, Rob, once or twice a year on a warm sunny day, if you're lucky enough to have a garden, drop it over the washing line in the garden, and the UV rays of the sun totally purify and cleanse it. So you see, it is a unique product. It's
Well, we haven't even got into the really unique stuff.
No.
But let's just really highlight here. You can wash this. Now, we'll get into it in a minute. Even the super king size will fit in a normal front-loading 7.5 kilo washing machine. And you're going to say when you see these duvets, wow, those are thin. We'll talk about, is it going to keep me warm? We'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, you can wash them as much as you like. And actually, the same is also true of the pillows. Now, a lot of people, and I know what's going to happen, this is not my first rodeo, you're going to hear all about Mulberry silk, and you're going to be, some of you are going to be skeptical. And you're going to go, oh, really? I'll tell you what, I'll just buy a pillow, and I'll give it a go. And you'll buy a pillow, and then about A week later, once you've had it, you're going to come back for the duvets. But that's fine. If it helps you ease yourself in, by all means, do that. £40, so they're actually normally 60 quid. There's £20 off when you buy this tonight. Hands down, I promise you, on my life, this is absolutely the best pillow I've ever used. It's the only pillow I will ever fully endorse, even on this show. It gets quite difficult when they give me another pillow I mean, I'll extol its virtues, but I will not be as enthusiastic about as this. I have 2 of these on my bed at home. My son has 2 of these on my bed at home. In the back of our director's car, there are 2 more for me, and there are 2 for the director, and there are 2 for the producer, and there are 2 for the floor manager, and king size duvets for everybody, all going back to our crew house tonight. We would not, and everyone wanted Mulberry silk. This pillow is A, the most comfortable, B, it's hypoallergenic. It's the pillow that dust mites just don't like to live in, and we'll get into that because the same is also true with the duvets. They have the Allergy UK seal of approval. It's because of the silk and the silk properties. It keeps your head dry on a hot day. It keeps your head cool on a hot day. And I only need 1 of these. I normally would stuff 2 or 3 pillows, the hollow fibre pillows, into a pillowcase. Don't need that with these. Just 1 is going to be probably enough for most people for correct spinal alignment, for maximum comfort, and at the end of the day, for better sleep. This is all about sleeping better. So we're on the pillows. It doesn't matter, Ray.
Right.
We don't have a lot of pillows, by the way, so get them while you can, please. You'll thank me. I'm going to be really bold and make some really bold statements in this show because I genuinely, if you've never tried Mulberry silk, I do know better than you because I sleep under it and with it every single night. So I'm giving you my full endorsement, my full 100% recommendation that you buy these. But the thing is, Ray, what are the special properties? I mean, and if we're interchanging between pillow and duvet, it doesn't matter.
Of the pillow?
No, what are the special properties of silk?
Well, one of the major properties, most people I speak to, for instance, we're on STV at the moment. Over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, there was an Ideal Home exhibition held at the SEC in Glasgow, and I was on the stand there.
Yes.
And people would come up to me. Now, we do about 70 shows a year. That show finished on Monday. We're at the Bath and West show, started today. Yesterday, today's Friday, started today. So you see, we're at shows all over the place, and people talk to us. And they've been talking to us for 35, 36 years, telling us their likes and their dislikes as far as bedding is concerned. So we have found out that the biggest problem people have when they're in bed trying to get a decent, good, peaceful night's sleep, they get too hot in bed.
Sure.
Not too cold, Rob, too hot. They're waking up in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, backside sticking out the duvet, duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. Now you're awake when you should be asleep. And one of the main reasons you're awake, you're simply too hot. Now, silk stops that happening. It's a natural protein similar to your hair, and it lets your body breathe. Now, anybody who sleeps with a partner who overheats in bed, who sweats, silk will wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So if you share a bed with a partner who overheats and sweats, this is positively the duvet for you. Any lady going through the menopause, don't hesitate. Buy one. Try it. And I guarantee, as far as sleep is concerned, it will change your life. And if it doesn't, you're not married to it. It's not like a husband. You don't have to keep it. You simply send it back and we'll refund your money with the same speed and the same civility that we take it from you. So you see, that's one of the major advantages. You don't overheat, you don't sweat, you can machine wash it, and it is a cocoon fiber. Yeah. It's designed to gently fold itself around you. It doesn't walk in the middle of the night. You don't waken up at 4 o'clock in the morning with half of the duvet on the floor.
Yeah.
It just gently sits on you. It's not heavy. And people, when they first see it, they get a shock because it's so thin. Now, in the bedding industry, silk is known as the great insulator. When people go mountaineering, Rob, what I call the big boys mountains, K2, Mount Everest, you know, everything they wear is lined with silk. The jackets, the tents are lined with silk, the sleeping bags,
like that,
ski clothing, good quality ski clothing, always lined with silk. So you see, it really is a very special product. And the most important thing of all, ladies and gentlemen, please listen to this. This duvet has the coveted Allergy Board certificate. Now, this certificate was virtually impossible to get. Every bedding company in Britain would love to have this certificate. Now, to the best of my knowledge, we're the only company currently selling silk duvets anywhere in Britain that has this certificate. And here's the interesting thing. If you look at the bottom here, it's issued for 1 year at a time. This one I have in my hand runs out on the 23rd of July this year. Now, they do that for a reason. They're very clever people. They do that to make sure that our standards don't drop. They can walk into our premises unannounced and check that our standards are maintained. And interestingly enough, we have this certificate. This is hard to believe, it's so hard to get. We have it for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, 27 countries there, New Zealand, and Australia. Now, the reason I mention this, what satisfies the authorities in Canada very often will not satisfy the authorities in Australia or Italy or France or Germany or Holland. But on this occasion, the quality of the product is so incredibly high and the manufacturing process is so precise, they can find no fault. And we have been granted this wonderful certificate. When you see this certificate in any product, not only the products we are selling here this morning, on any product, you can buy it in the knowledge it's been tested to the extreme standards. It's the best of the best. And here's the interesting thing, Rob, I should mention this. This will shock a lot of people, probably shock you as well, Rob. This duvet is on offer this morning. This is incredible what I'm going to say next. It's on offer at a price which is slightly less than we were charging for it 22 years ago when we first launched it on television. So value for money, absolutely.
Well, let's look at that, shall we? The usual price for the single is £169. Now that, let me explain. So RK, Ray Kennedy, Ray's company, RK Sales, they sell these through their website. It's the only other place you can buy Mulberry silk. Otherwise, it is exclusive to Shop on TV. And for reasons that Ray and Ray alone can explain to you, he does us, and therefore you, an amazing deal. So our price, £139 for the single. Singles very low in stock though. Please check out quickly. Double, $239. We've got it for $179. The King is $259. Our price $199. The Super King is $279, our price $219. Now let's take the big one, the Super King. Let's say, just like me, you've got a Super King size bed, or as I like to call it, wishful thinking. That's, if you know, 10-year guarantee, that's £21 or £22 a year, if you look at it that way. And the thing is that it doesn't at the end of the 10-year guarantee suddenly disintegrate or vanish into nowhere. This, anecdotally, has the ability to, and for many has, lasted for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. In fact, you'll probably find that the Egyptian cotton will wear out before the silk inside. Yeah. This is ultimately about one thing and one thing only. It's about sleeping better. We we have busy lives, many of us. And also we have rubbish bedding, because anything that doesn't have a natural fibre like silk inside of it, and I don't class feathers as that, by the way, they have a downside. All other fillings in all other duvets that I can think of anyway have a downside. And when I say a downside, down is one of the downsides, because they trap heat. Synthetic fibre, hollow fibre if you want to call it that, duck, goose, feather, down, they all trap the heat. And so what happens is you put the duvet on top of yourself and the heat builds up and up and up and up, and it doesn't escape. And eventually you start roasting in your own juices. You start sweating, and that's when you take things off. Now, what does that do? It wakes you up. There are 5 stages of sleep, and you have to go through all 5. Each cycle is about 90 minutes, I believe. You have to go through all 5 to get the full, deep, recuperative, regenerative, restorative, healing sleep that you need, that your body and your mind need. If you get woken up at any point, you can't go back to sleep and carry on where you left off. You've got to go right the way to the beginning. That's why, and I'm sure everyone's had this, and maybe every day you have this. You wake up in the morning and you may have slept for 8 or 9 hours and you're like, I'm still tired. It's not because you didn't get enough sleep, it's because you didn't get enough quality sleep, because you kept waking up. Now, I always tell the story, Ray, don't I, about, you're going to hear this all again on ITV, by the way, because I'm not very original. But during lockdown, and I was working on ITV, and the broadcaster that I was working for, or the company I was working with at the time that were broadcasting on ITV, this is when all the hotels closed. So they put these porta cabins in the car park, which were 6 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot, I think. Little boxes, essentially, or solitary confinement, you might look at it like that. That's not quite accurate, because I think solitary confinement probably would have been bigger. And it was freezing. I had no heating on, and Ray, very kind, I did pay for it in the end, but Ray did very kindly lend me a single duvet. I went in, and we'd just done a show together, and I thought, well, that all sounds a bit too good to be true. So I went into my box, and I got down to my boxers, and I got it, my smalls. I got into bed, and I wrapped myself up with this single Mulberry silk. -7 degrees it was outside. I remember it because I checked the temperature first, and I reached a nice temperature, and I've got it tucked in all round, and it's up to my neck, right? And I'm like, I'm going to get too hot. 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 I had a watch on at the time. I'm going to get too, and I never did. I never did. Because this silk has natural temperature regulation. It keeps you the right temperature all the time, whether that is warm in the winter or cool in the summer. It will even help cool you down in the summer, believe it or not. If it's a hot day, you think counterintuitive to put a duvet over you. You put a mulberry silk duvet over you, it actually has a cooling effect as well. And I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely blown away. And ever since then, I've been a huge advocate for mulberry silk. Many will remember that I was David Brent duvet salesman. If you want to go and have a look at that, I mean, on Twitter it went viral. And that's because I don't swear by my duvet. I don't swear at my duvet, I swear by it. It's extraordinarily great bedding, Ray. It really
Well, it is total comfort.
Total.
At an affordable price, backed up with a 10-year warranty.
Yeah.
Although I'll just repeat, although we guarantee it for 10 years, the duvets we have in my bed at home are 29, coming up for 30 years old. In July, they'll be 30 years old. So when you buy this, it's an investment, it's something special. And anybody who's bedbound, this is the most wonderful duvet to have, because people who are bedbound, these big, heavy, puffy duvets hurt their elbows and their knees, and in particular their toes. And when you're bedbound, obviously you sleep in bed, you eat in bed, you get your hair washed in bed, you have body washes in bed, little accidents happen. Well, you can take this off, you can wash it quickly, dry it quickly within a couple of hours, because silk does dry quickly. You never have to pay 25, 30 pounds to have it dry cleaned. Yeah. That's just another bonus with this particular duvet.
Yeah.
Basically, we're asking the public to trust this.
Yes.
Buy it and try it. It is a special product.
And on that note, I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
We're about to join ITV.
Okay.
Or more to the point, I suppose ITV are about to join us. So I'm getting into position. This is the mulberry silk position. Pillow on lap. It is superior bedding, and we haven't even gone past the tip of the iceberg yet. So do stay tuned, please. And if you've got any questions whatsoever, the whole point of us being live on the telly is so that you can email studio@shopontv.co.uk. We want to answer your questions. We want you to be happy. And if you want absolute gratification and happiness, buy yourself Mulberry Silk bedding, because I'm confident that you will. So stick right where you are. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Lock, with an E. What a night do we have for you. In case you're wondering why I'm sitting here with a pillow atop my lap, it's because it's a very, very, very special pillow. Tonight is all about mulberry silk bedding. I once coined the phrase that I no longer swear at my duvet, I swear by it, and the internet went mad because I look a little bit like David Brent, and David Brent duvet salesman was the headline for the day in all of the press and across all of social media. Some of you may remember that. But there's a reason that I said that, because it also happens to be true. If you want the best night's sleep you can get, I believe you'll get it, or get closer to it, with the products that we have, the bedding products that we have on offer tonight. If you want the very best bedding that money can buy, I believe, and in my experience, this is it. Absolutely, hands down. I've tried pretty much everything. This is the best that money can buy. It is pure mulberry silk and Egyptian cotton. That's it. It is the best quality silk that money can buy. If you were a Rothschild, if you were a king, or if you were a czar, do they have czars anymore? Probably not. No, they've gone. But even if you were Elon Musk himself, or Bill Gates, or any of those other rich bods, Jeff Bezos, and you had a trunk full or a suitcase full of money, and you said, "Give me the best," they wouldn't talk like that. "Give me the best silk in the land, man." This is what you would get: AAA grade mulberry silk. I like to say, and I say I like to say, I've only said it once, which was earlier on STV, basically, this is a revolution for your bedroom and an evolution for your sleep, because you will get a better night's sleep when you sleep with this. I am absolutely convinced of it. But the good thing is, be as skeptical as you like, because you get an unconditional money-back guarantee. The duvets we have for you in a moment, well, they have a 10-year guarantee. These pillows have a 2-year guarantee. You can return them if you don't like them. If they don't do everything that we say that they're going to do tonight, and we're going to say a lot about them, you can actually send them back. Can't do that with other pillows, can you? Well, you can with these. Any mulberry silk product is returnable with basically after you've had a chance to try it out. Because if you haven't slept on mulberry silk bedding before, and this is basically the real deal. This is the official Mulberry Silk company that is bringing you through an exclusive distributor, RK Sales in this country, and in this nation, I should say, is bringing you these duvets and pillows that are as good as they get. And if you've heard us do these shows before and have been resisting or holding out, at least get yourself a pillow, because the pillows are £20 off tonight. But if you can afford to get yourself a duvet, and if you want to go the whole hog, get yourself a mattress. I've now got 2 of the mattresses. I've got one at my home in London and one at my the crew house in Warrington, or will have shortly. So, and I've now got 4 sets of mulberry silk bedding. Pillows, I've got 6. I've got 6 pillows. I've got a super king, a king, 2 kings, and also a single mulberry silk duvet. That's how much I love this. And here to tell us all about it is the one and only, honestly, the manners of this man, I wish that they could be copied and handed around to many of the youth of today, because they'd learn a thing or two. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ray Kennedy. Hello, sir. How are you?
Nice of you to say that. I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
And as always, looking forward to the show very much indeed. We have lots to tell the public about this wonderful product.
And I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you can give us 20 minutes of your time, I reckon we can do it in 20 minutes.
Right.
Certainly by 1 a.m, you're gonna go, why have I never, if you haven't, why have I never heard of this before? And why have I not got it? And if, especially with the hot weather, if you can't sleep, or even whatever the weather, you can't sleep. If you can't sleep, and actually I would warrant many of you think you're having a good night's sleep, but you're actually not. We're going to prove that in this show. So if you're going for a duvet, the single, we've got very few singles. In fact, my producer made the wonderful joke earlier that we're actually almost single figures on the singles. And I'm using it again now. The usual price, £169. £139 is our price. Double, normally £239. We've got it for £179. King size, normally £259. We've got it for £199. And £279 normally for the Super King. We have it for £219. And remember, these duvets have a 10-year guarantee, but they are designed to last a lot longer than that. And people have had, many have had theirs for 20, 25, 30 plus years. So these are quite possibly the last duvets you'll ever need to buy. They should last you the entirety of your adult life. If you buy them for your kids, they will be they'll be your age before they even think about wearing out. So I tell you, you've got PayPal on all of them if you want to spread the cost. We don't have massive stocks. This is our third show, excuse me, in this month, and we are down to the last dregs of stock. So yeah.
Fortunately, Rob, and I'd like to thank the viewers for this. We're in the, I don't want to appear big-headed when I say this, but we're in the fortunate position that we can sell these duvets as many as we can make, and we're constantly short of top quality silk. We don't use inferior silk. The silk within the duvet is AAA grade Mulberry silk. And if you go into Google or Wikipedia, type in all about silk, this is what they will tell you, word for word. They will say within the silk industry, Mulberry silk is considered to be the king of silks. Now that's an interesting word, Rob, king. Mm-hmm. There can only be one king. Others aspire to be king, but there can only be one. And within the silk industry and bedding industry, Mulberry is king. Yeah. The top cover, Egyptian cotton, long fiber, not short fiber, long fiber, absolute, the pinnacle of luxury. You can't get better than long fiber Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. So basically it's not rocket science. What we've done, we've taken the two most famous fabrics in the world. We've handed these fabrics to a company with a stellar reputation for quality. We've backed it up with a 10-year guarantee. We've backed it up with a money-back guarantee. No arguing, no fighting on the telephone. Don't like it, instant refund. So you've got nothing to lose by trying it. One thing I can tell you, when you buy this product, I can't guarantee this, I'm not allowed to use the word guarantee. I would like to use the word guarantee, but I'm not allowed to. One thing I can say, in my opinion, you will get the best night's sleep you've ever had. You won't overheat under it. It'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. If two people share a bed, one likes the bed warm, one likes the bed less warm. Silk is a low conductor of heat, it self-reflects. And two people who like a different temperature in bed can both sleep under this duvet, be perfectly comfortable. Perfectly
comfortable. Now, can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a bit, I used the word revolution excuse me, at the start of the show. I know we're going to have a lot of people watching who were sceptical, who took the plunge, who now own Mulberry silk bedding and have experienced the Mulberry silk magic. Like Joanne and Shaz, I'm hearing, who've already emailed in. Would you do me a favour? If you've bought Mulberry silk bedding from us, duvet, pillow, whatever it may be, pillowcase, mattress even, please drop us a testimonial so that we can, let's start the revolution now. Let's convert everybody who's not sleeping as well as they could to Mulberry silk so they can get a better night's sleep. And we will get into all the whys and wherefores and everything else that you need to know shortly. Also, let's just quickly draw your attention to our website, shopontv.co.uk. Remember, this is the shopping show live on ITV and STV every single night. We are a partnership with both those companies, both those broadcasters. Well, I like to think of us as the official shopping show on ITV and STV. And I tell you what, if you want a pillow, don't buy anything else except this, because it is absolutely the best pillow money can buy. I believe that's my experience. I've only tried in my career probably 100 or so pillows. They do say that if people could return their pillows, probably about 66% would, because most pillows are absolute rubbish. All they are is a sack filled with the filling. But it's what's the filling, that's the problem. What's the sack made of? These pure silk, now they've got a fibre core just for stability, but everything else, you've got miles of full length, unbroken strands of mulberry silk inside these pillows. And then again, you have the Egyptian cotton outer case. Can I also just show you something here? Sorry, I know we just started a lovely little video of all of these. Or is that? No, that's not live, is it? When Ray says that you have an unconditional money-back guarantee, that's not even through Shop on TV. So don't even contact. You can contact us anytime you like, of course. We've got customer service always available to you. But you're going to go to here. You're going to go to your bedding. So you've got all the instructions, the washing instructions, because, oh yes, you can machine wash these pillows, by the way. And they won't lose their loft or their colour or their shape or their support, anything. I've had my Mulberry silk pillows for about 5 years now, and I've washed them. I wash them once every month. They are amazing. But you'll find down the bottom or somewhere there, you'll find RK Sales contact information. That is who you get in touch with if you have any issues whatsoever.
Rob, one thing I should mention to the viewers, Shop on TV guarantee these pillows, money back.
Oh, we do, yes.
And I must tell you, we guarantee it as well. If you phone us up, first of all, a live person will answer the telephone. And anything you buy from us, including this pillow, if you're not thrilled with it, you can have a refund.
Yes.
So please put your mind at ease. Now, I've been selling stuff in television for a long time. I'm quite an old man now. Rob is a little bit younger than me.
Oh, not by much.
And he's been selling stuff in television for many years.
I have.
Now, I always judge the success of any product, not on how many we sell, but when that product has been sold with a money-back guarantee. I always judge the success of the product and how many we get returned.
Tell us a story about, you're getting into it, aren't you? Yeah, the pillow is an amazing story.
What happened with this pillow, about 8 years ago, we were dealing with a TV company here in Britain. We've been dealing with them for 22 years. And the buyer came along, very nice lady. She said, you know, the public love your duvets. Could you please make a pillow to the same high standards? Now, we went back to our head office, which is in Vancouver, right? We have a research and development department there, and we went to work making a pillow. Now, we took our time. There's an old saying, the devil is in the detail, so we took our time. It took us roughly 18 months, 2 years, to get the pillow ready to be sold to the public. Now, when we brought it back to the UK to sell it to the public, right, in the first 13 months, when we were selling this to the public at live exhibitions, right, we sold 86,000 pillows. Now, here's the interesting thing. The Bedding Association, who are clever people, they reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, the percentage that would be returned could be as high as 60 or 65%. Now keep that figure at the back of your mind, 60 or 65%. When we sold these pillows to the public, 86,000 sold in 13 months. We didn't get 60 or 65% returned. Incredible as it may seem, we got 19 individual pillows returned out of 86,000. Now here's the reason why. This pillow I'm holding is the one I sleep on at home. When I travel anywhere in Britain, I take it with me in the boot of my car, so I'm guaranteed a really good night's sleep. Now this pillow is 5.5, 6 years old. It's been slept on for at least 15,000 hours. It's been washed at least, I would say, 25 times. And if you were to cut this pillow open, we're not trying to hoodwink anyone. It tells you on the label exactly what's inside it. If you were to cut it open, in the middle you have a pocket of fiber. That's to give it, as Rob said, stability, to give it support for your neck and shoulders. All the way around that, you have layer after layer after layer of AAA grade Mulberry silk.
Unbroken, right?
Unbroken, each strand over 1 mile long. It's not little pieces of silk chopped up and thrown in. It's not scrap silk. It is AAA grade Mulberry.
It's the whole cocoon.
Considered by the bedding as people to be the highest grade silk in the world. You can wash it as often as you want. Dust mites do not like silk. That's not Raymond saying that. That's not Rob saying it. That's a United Kingdom allergy board.
Yeah.
They will not go near silk. The reason being silk is a protein similar to your hair. So anybody with asthma, hay fever, COPD, emphysema, I'm not saying this will cure it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner. What I am saying is get rid of the dust mites in the pillow. A dust mite only lives for 10 weeks, then it dies. And like you and I, when it dies, it turns to dust. And when it turns to dust, you put your head in the pillow at night and you inhale that dust. The Bedding Association reckon, Rob, that the average pillow doubles in weight within 3 years with dead dust mites. All I'm saying, get rid of the dust, have a pillow that's clean of dust. If you have allergies, I'm saying it, the allergy board is saying it, 19 returned out of 86,000. Here's the real bonus. There's only 2 people you can buy this pillow from, myself or from Shop and TV. When I sell it on my website, I charge £60 per pillow and £5 postage. And to use a modern phrase, I'm not ripping people off. Now, Shop and TV buy thousands upon thousands at any given time. They offer them to you at £40 each. You're saving £20 per pillow, and it has a money-back guarantee.
It's got absolutely nuts on the pillows. We're already well over, approaching 20% of the stock gone. You do need to check out your baskets. If you put this in your basket, it doesn't hold it for you. It doesn't lock in the price or lock in the product. It's fair game. There could be a million of you with these in your baskets, but we only have a certain quantity, and whoever pays first gets them. Remember, you have a money-back guarantee. You have everything to gain or your money back, no questions asked. This is ITV and STV that we're on. We are overruled by Ofcom, overseen, by Ofcom, the Advertising Standards Association, or Authority, I believe it is. We don't get away with anything here. Your money's safe, believe me. And what we're telling you, if it's not factual, true, 100% right, we could be taken off the air. So we present you with the facts. What we say is fact, unless I share an opinion with you, in which case it's an opinion. But when it comes to this, I have to say certain things are my opinion, but I believe them to be fact. Right, and so do you actually. We've got lots of emails. Some are questions. Let's start with this one. Hi, just wondering, this is Ryan. Hi Ryan, how are you doing? Just wondering if I can put duvet covers over the silk, or will that counteract the features? Thank you. Ryan, yes and no. I'm going to answer this because this is something I've just done. As long as you put a natural fibre, so cotton. I just bought Egyptian cotton fitted sheet because I've got the mattress, silk mattress, right? 13 quid. And that's 200. I cheated myself. I got the cheap one, 200 thread count. And I bought a duvet set. That was a king size duvet, a cover with 2 pillowcases. That was about 20 quid, I think. So if you put polyester or hollow fibre, or you know, man-made synthetic fibres on silk that don't breathe, yes, absolutely, it's going to block all of the features of the silk. So only get natural fibres. Egyptian cotton is my recommendation, or silk if you want, or some other. I can't even think of any other natural fibres, but it's got to be a natural breathable fibre. Right. Me and my husband, this is from Joanne. Hello there. Me and my husband Carl just moved away to Newcastle after being forced to move house. I'm sorry about that, if that sounds interesting. Whilst on our travels, we've taken our Mulberry silk pillows and duvet with us, and it's just such a comfort. Would definitely recommend. You see down the front there, thank you for that, Joanne, because everybody else, see down the front there, that package, I think that's either a king or a super king duvet. That's the size of it. You can fit that in one side of a carry-on suitcase and your pillow in the other.
Yeah.
Take them with you whenever you and wherever you go, particularly, I would say, your pillow. And a lot of people do that. Shaz says, hi Shaz, how you doing? I ordered the duvet and pillow a few weeks ago. It arrived very quickly. Invested in some lovely Egyptian cotton covers to match my dark grey bedroom. Oh, I got dark grey as well. Word of warning, do not try these on a Sunday night. Ooh. I do not want to get up the next morning for work. Very comfortable and high quality. I've noticed I'm less sweaty, of course, and feel more relaxed. It's very breathable. Even the cats love it. Cats will set up shop, and dogs and other pets if you're not, and children if you're not careful. She says absolutely worth the investment. Emma says I'm really interested in the pillows. Are they better than duck feather? Oh, Emma. Duck feather compared to this pillow, it is just the most primitive and useless thing you could have in a pillow, in my opinion. Trust me, even if you don't, just try one if you want. Silk is the best that you can possibly get in a pillow, in my experience, honestly. So the problem with duck, it gets too hot, you get a sweaty head, and then you sweat into it, and what happens? It stays inside the pillow. What likes hot, damp conditions? Bacteria. Right? And dust mites and everything else. Your pillow becomes festooned with an infestation of all kinds of nasty things over a relatively short period of time. Whereas with the silk pillow, it does not. It doesn't get hot. It keeps your head temperature regulated, so you don't have to keep turning your pillow. It doesn't get sweaty because it wicks away moisture. So, I mean, this is absolutely, but again, get yourself, it has to be either Egyptian cotton or a silk pillowcase. Get this pillow. It's the best pillow on the market. In my experience, hands down, I will say that and stand on any street corner in any country or city or whatever in the world, and it's amazing. I bought a Super King duvet, and it was the best thing I've ever done, Simon said. Thank you, Simon. Oh, here we go, Ray. We're going to go back to the duvet. We've got about just a few minutes left before we take a brief pause. What TOG is the duvet?
Well,
and is there a summer and winter version?
No.
Thank you. Perfect.
I apologize. I should have mentioned this. This is an all-weather duvet. You don't need one for the winter and one for the summer. The reason being, silk is a low conductor of heat and it self-reflects. It's a natural protein similar to your hair, and you will never be cold in the winter. We're a Canadian-based company. We're the agents for the United Kingdom, but the head office is in Canada. I'll be there next week selling these on Canadian television. Now, when we go up as far as Quebec in the winter, it can be minus 25 degrees. But silk self-regulates, and within the bedding industry, it's known as the great insulator. It insulates. So you will positively be really warm in the winter without sweating and overheating. And the miracle is it will keep you cool in the summer. Nobody knows why. It's Mother Nature. It's a secret. She's had a secret under lock and key for 5,000 years. Warm in the winter, cool in the summer. Don't worry about that. You're going to be lovely and warm.
Absolutely. So many new customers. In fact, we can flash some of the customers up on the screen if we may. Please make sure you check out. It's very, very important that you do that, because if it's sitting in your shopping basket, it's no good to anybody. New customer in London, welcome to the family. Well done for getting this bedding. Glasgow, new customer in Glasgow, well done to you. Glasgow, another Glasgow. We've also got another London. So London and Glasgow so far. New customer in Chester, well done to you. JC in Doncaster, well done to you for getting this. Another London. Is it going to be Glasgow? No, Nuneaton, well done to you. New customer also in Liverpool, well done to you. All of you who are buying this right now, you've just done something that if you don't even necessarily realise you've done, you have bought into a better night's sleep. And we're going to get more into it when we get into the next part. But these pillows are not going to be around until the end of the show. You must by now, if you do nothing else, if you're skeptical, great. Be skeptical. Assume everything we say is absolute rubbish. Prove me wrong. First 5 people who aren't satisfied with it, I mean, look, you know, you're going to get your money back anyway. But if you didn't, I'll buy them back from you myself. Do you know what? I'd put 500 quid on that mattress right now and say that anyone who's not happy, I'll use that first 500.
Rob, you're on firm ground with the pillow. 19 returned out of 86,000.
Yes.
Now, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, before we joined ITV, for 4 days, I beg your pardon, last week, I was at a live exhibition at the Scottish Exhibition Centre in Glasgow. And I was on the stand, and every day, maybe 10, 12, 15 people would walk past the stand. And you just give me a little wave like this, thumbs up, say, I've got one. Had it 12 years, 10 years, 5 years, 17 years. You know, they were so pleased with the product. They took the time to come and say, well done, thank you. Now, there will be people watching tonight who are a little bit undecided. Well, please don't be. Just buy it and try it. And if you don't like it, money back. But I promise you, if you do buy it, you can be that person who walks past the stand in 5 years' time and say, still got it, thumbs up. It's wonderful.
When I first got my Mulberry silk pillows, because I've had them, you know, I've had them through that first summer when I came back from the States. I mean, boy, it was hot. And we had a couple of scorches, right? You know those days it gets up to 30 degrees. Sticky. And so my pillows, you know, I take the pillowcase off to go wash it, and my pillows are yellow with those kind of watermark stains, you know what I mean? Stick it in the washing machine. And by the way, if you want to use a whitening product, you can't use the Oxy products, the powder, but I think it's OxyClean. There are other brands, but they do a gel, which is silk safe. Use those, no problem. And honestly, I put one in my machine at a time. You could put 2, but I like to have room to move around and really clean well. And they dry in about 2 hours on a clothes.
Yeah, they dry quickly, so does.
And they come back brand new.
And Rob, we did mention in a previous show, every single year in the United Kingdom, this is hard to believe, but you can check this in Google or Wikipedia. 7 million pillows get thrown out into landfill. The reason being the filling within these pillows is rubbish.
Yeah.
I was in a very large store, one of the biggest retailers in Britain, about 10 months ago. There was a huge pile of pillows, a couple of hundred of them, on sale. They were filled with recycled plastic bottles. I couldn't believe it, but I just could not believe it. Imagine a hot summer's evening, you're putting your head on a cheap cotton pillow with plastic bottles inside. The pillows were £10 each. These are the pillows that end up in landfill. The average lady with a husband, 2 children, in her lifetime will buy 35 to 40 pillows. You'll only buy this pillow once. You can wash it as often as you want. Silk is the second strongest natural fiber in the world. It's going to last you an awful long time. You have £20 off every pillow, and you have a money-back guarantee. And let me remind you, my final word on this, it is dust mite free. Anybody with allergies, don't hesitate. Allergy board approved. Buy a couple. You'll just be thrilled.
Now we're on the details for the duvet, but the same applies. I just want to qualify here that imagine the Sahara Desert. People do occasionally visit the Sahara Desert. They wander in. They might stay for the day. They might pitch a tent and even do an overnight, but they don't live there. Why? Because it's completely inhospitable and it is impossible to live there for a suspended period of time. That is essentially dust mites and silk. Dust mites of Arabia, if you think about it like that. And so you might get the odd 1 or 2, but they ain't staying. And they're not staying long enough to poop all over the place, that's the allergen actually, and then die, and their carcass, and then their offspring, and if they reproduce, and they reproduce very quickly. And in normal pillows, that's why after a couple of years, as much as half the weight of your pillow is dust mites, their droppings, and the carcasses of their dead relatives. Now look, I know you think, some of you, a quarter of the single duvet's gone. We didn't have a lot of those. So if you want the single, please, we are in single figures now. So how many? Well, we've got like 5 or 6 of them left. No, 9. Okay, I was guessing. please check out on the single duvet if you want it. The next 9 people will have it. If you've got a double and you want to upgrade to a king, as we've done in our crew house, so you get that hotel drape, great. Or if you've got a king and you want to get a super king and upgrade to the hotel drape, and you could get a double for the single beds as well if you want to. Obviously, if you've got a super king bed like me, then these have a nice drape to them anyway, but this is a double bed and this is a king size duvet on it, so you just get that extra overhang. We're really going to get into more of it. Please, I beg, I beseech all those who now have Mulberry silk bedding, drop us an email. I'll read it out in the air, studio@shopontv.co.uk. Your honest opinion and your honest experience, good, bad or ugly, about with what you've had with your Mulberry silk bedding. I'd love to hear. Stay tuned. There's tons more still to come after this.
Remember to check out your online basket and complete your order. Once you pay, it's on the way from Shop on TV.
Once you pay, it's on the way. If you don't check out, you don't get out. No, that doesn't work, but you know what I mean. You don't pay, you don't get. Simple as that. Right, let's... I don't think, Ray, we've yet delved deep enough into the story of the silk. We're going to go with the duvets.
How do we get it?
How do we get the silk? How is it put into these duvets?
Right.
And what's so special?
How we get the silk is quite interesting. We take the silkworm, we place it in a large metal tray, roughly the size of this bed. We place the metal tray containing the worm into a darkened room, and we keep it there for 35, 36 days. We feed the worm exclusively on mulberry leaves. It will eat 10,000 times its own body weight in mulberry leaves.
Wow.
And its body weight will increase tenfold. After 35, 36 days, it spits the cocoon off. We place that in tepid water, and all the silk floats off in one unbroken piece. Now, each strand of silk within this duvet, believe it or believe it not, is over 1 mile long, unbroken in one long piece. So that allows them to stitch it all the way around the perimeter. Now, it takes 2 skilled operators a day to a day and a half to make one duvet. It really does.
They're handmade?
Yes. Yeah. They stitch it around the perimeter, really perfect. They have to be precise. That's the word I'm struggling to find to do that job properly. Once they have anchored it around the perimeter, they pull it towards themselves and they put these box cassettes in by machine. Now that means 2 things, Rob. Number 1, you are now sleeping under a complete covering of the finest silk and cotton in the world. The silk within the cotton cover cannot and it will not move. It is a cocoon fiber. It is a cocoon fiber. It's made to gently wrap itself around you. It's not heavy. It's not puffy. It's not restrictive. It doesn't press down on you. It's a breathable fiber. It'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So if you overheat in bed, if you sweat in bed, don't hesitate, buy one. If you're a lady going through the menopause, please buy yourself one. Believe you me, it will change your life as far as sleeping is concerned.
Now, by the way, every single Mulberry silk duvet has this completely useless thing on it. It's a little, you'll see it here, it's a little zippy compartment.
Yes.
Now, I say it's
a window, actually.
It's a window. It's actually a show-off window.
You know why we do that?
Go on.
Rob, we do that for a very good reason.
Yeah.
There's so much...
Look at that.
I'm not sure what's the correct word to use here. So much fake silk, inferior silk being sold.
Well, yeah.
What they do, you get Tussa silk and things like that. What they do, they get cotton, polyester. They polish it so it looks like silk. And to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
And what a lot of companies do, they take a small percentage of silk, it's usually 30 or 40%.
Yeah.
They bulk it up with man-made fibers which have been polished. And to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference. By doing that, they get a higher profit.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, everything we sell or we offer for sale, is made by the official Mulberry Silk Company. Read the label on all of our products. By law, we have to tell you exactly what we're offering for sale.
Yes.
Everything is 100% natural, AAA grade mulberry silk, nothing else.
There's no extraneous,
no inferior
anything.
fiber. And when we run out,
Yes.
and we often do, I'll tell you why that is. When the silkworm is, when the silk has been taken from the pod, right, we very often, you know, run out of top grade silk.
Well, because the worms are
Well, we
seasonal
feed the
and-
worms
yeah.
on mulberry leaves,
which are also
now there's 3 different colors of mulberry, red, black and white.
Yeah.
If you feed the worm in the red and black leaf, you get a very high quality mulberry silk. If you feed it on the white mulberry leaf, however, you jump up, you take a step up,
Yes, yeah.
and you get the highest grade silk in the world.
So
AAA.
when you run out of the white
stop
stuff,
manufacturing.
you don't go, oh, we'll just use some
we
of the
stop
black.
manufacturing.
You are
as simple as that.
You are guaranteed only, I say again,
The creme de la creme.
only to get the white mulberry leaf fed
AAA.
AAA grade mulberry silk. And that's why, you know, we got this back in, it'd been out of stock for 3 months.
I know.
And we just got it back about a month ago. And this is the 3rd show. This is the last of the stock. So we may have 1 or 2 more shows.
The last 2 shows we did were record-breaking
Record-breaking. So that's...
And I'd like to thank the viewers for that.
they're about to miss the window again if they don't check out
you know,
tonight.
very
you're gonna miss
often
your
people
window
say
again.
to me, you know,
40% of the
I
single
wish
gone.
I'd bought it years ago. And
Yeah.
that happens all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I had a lady over the weekend at a live exhibition. She was a very beautiful, very old, very elegant Indian lady come up to me, and she was asking all the right questions, Rob. And she was testing me, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And she knew what she was talking about. And I was answering her, and eventually she smiled, and she said, you know, she said, I'm here on holiday. It was in Glasgow. She said, I'm here on holiday to visit my family from India. She said, you know, she said, when I was a young girl, she said, I worked on a silk farm. She said, I've been brought up with silk. She says, I'm so thrilled to see silk this quality. And believe it or believe it not, she bought 12 pillowcases to take all the way back to India. Now, India's got plenty silk,
Yeah,
but
they
not
don't
as
have
good as this.
That's the thing. You can go
That's
anywhere.
the point.
In fact, you could go to China. Silk only grows in China, and buy a silk, top quality silk duvet, and it still probably wouldn't be as high quality as this. 2 ingredients. The top quality, literally, we can say this, the best. Usually you can't use superlatives. There is no silk on earth that is regarded as better than AAA grade mulberry silk.
Actually, 3 ingredients, Rob. The mindset of the company who is selling you the product.
Yes, yes.
We are not interested, I'm not boasting when I say this. We are not interested in cutting corners. We've been selling silk for 36 years. We've been in business for 66 years. When we first started selling silk, we were a tiny little company in a back alley in Vancouver.
Yeah.
We now export to 35 countries throughout the world. And people might say to themselves, Rob, you know, they'll be sat at home and they'll think, hold on, let me think, there's a problem. Rob is telling me this is the best duvet he's ever had. Raymond's confirming it. Why is the price so low? Now, here's the reason why the price is so low. In every country we deal in, we only have one partner.
Prices.
Our partner in Britain is Shop and TV. I don't supply shops at all. The reason being, normally when you have a product ready to be sold to the public, you hand it to a distributor. He then gives it to a wholesaler. The wholesaler gives it to the retailer or the shopkeeper. That's 3 different people who add on a margin of profit. Now, they've done nothing wrong. They're honest people trying to make a living.
Of course.
We've eliminated those 3 people. You're buying direct from Shop and TV. The price is absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
I mentioned at the beginning of the program, I'm going to refresh your memory. We are offering this duvet this morning, believe it or believe it not, ladies and gentlemen, at a price which is probably 3 or 4% lower than we were charging for it 22 years ago the very first night that we ever launched it on television. Now that's an incredible compliment to the buyers here at Shop and TV.
Yeah.
They're professional people, they're tenacious, they're tough, they've bought them at an advantageous price, and then they've passed the saving on to the viewer. And everything you buy, if you don't like it, instant refund. What have you got to lose by trying it?
The only thing it costs you is the P&P, because we have to pay the postman. That's the only bit we can't refund you, because we literally spend it. And, but for everything else, I want to say also, we're going to mention, you may have seen these lovely pillowcases. They're 100% silk front and back. They do have a fused cotton inside or one side to stop the pillow from sliding out. But they're on the outside, they're 100% pure silk. But I just want to give you, we'll get to those shortly, but I want to give just some more testimonials here. Thank you for all your emails, by the way. Please keep them coming. These are very telling, this first one, a couple of these actually. Jan, hi Jan, how you doing? She said, oh, there you are. She says, hi, I've spent hundreds of pounds on pillows through the years and never had one which fulfilled my expectations. That is until I bought the Mulberry silk pillow. Oh my days. Finally, I have my perfect pillow. Should have got one sooner. Well worth the price, and I'm just placing another order now. Thanks so much for this amazing product. Yours thankfully, Jan. Ordering another one. Interesting. Hi, Rob Lock with an E. Hi. Melanie from Belfast, unless Belfast is your last name, in which case Melanie Belfast. Buying another duvet. Another duvet. Who in their right mind buys a second one if they didn't like the first one, right? Of course. That was very condescending. Sorry, I didn't mean it to sound like that. I've listened to your opinion and ordered 2 of the pillows. Thank you. I look forward to receiving them. Emma, you're about to become essentially a Mulberry silk convert. Once you've slept on Mulberry silk and under Mulberry silk, you'll be like me. I got a free duvet to start with, although I did pay for it in the end because I felt that was the right thing to do, and a pillow, and that changed my life. Now I've got, as I said, I've got 6 pillows, 3 duvets, and 2 mattresses. Good morning, Ray and Rob. This is from G. Hi, G. After many years just looking at this product, we got you there. I've got you eventually, right? Finally took the plunge and bought the Mulberry silk king size duvet. Couldn't believe how such a thin duvet could be so comfy. I wish I'd bought it sooner. You know, there's a saying that size is not everything, right? And if you think about this, China, the conditions, they get very, very hot at night, very, very cold. Very, very hot during the day, very cold at night. And they have typhoons and monsoons and other oons. And, you know, the silkworm, when it cocoons itself, the cocoon is to protect it while it metamorphoses into a moth. So it protects it from the elements, the heat, the cool. It protects it from the weather. It protects it from predators. Silk is the second, like for like, the second strongest substance known to man, second only to spider's web. If you had a pound of steel and a pound of Mulberry silk, the Mulberry silk would be much, much
Tensile strength, yes.
Tensile strength, yeah. So silk doesn't need, if you think how thin a cocoon is, it doesn't need to be thick. This is where we have to re-educate ourselves. We get the big, thick, bushy duvets and we want a high TOG rating and all of that because that's what we've been programmed to think. But all they are heat traps. That's all they are. Now, yes, they keep you warm, but then you have to throw them off. But they don't care about that because they think, well, you know, just throw it off. You put it on again when you're cold. But what that does, ladies and gentlemen, it interrupts your sleep. It's called toxic sleep. What you'll find the minute you start sleeping under one of these, you'll wake up in the morning and you probably won't have moved very much. That's a good sign. You're not supposed to. Tossing and turning, not supposed to happen. And number 2 is you'll actually be refreshed and recuperated and regenerated and restored. The sleep will do for you what it's supposed to do. If you've got any synthetic fibre or feather product in your duvet and pillow right now, I guarantee you that in my experience, you are not getting the best night's sleep you can get. Not by a mile. So look, if you want to sleep better, the best you can, there are several things you have to do, and I'll get into that in the next segment because I don't want to waffle on for ages, it's rude to Ray. But if you want to sleep better, a lot better, get Mulberry Silk. I don't know anything else that does it. Now, there are other Mulberry Silk duvet products out there, but beware of imitations, look at the content, how much silk's in them. 100% in this, full length. Most other products, maybe 20, 30% silk, and they are offcuts. If you do buy a full Mulberry Silk, full length duvet, you'll probably pay 5 times as much, if not more. So go Google now, please, by all means. Try and beat our price. Try and beat our product at this price. It ain't going to happen. We've made sure of that. So these are the prices. They're very, very competitive. Yeah, they're a bit more. Sure. Do you know what? We broke our own rule the other day. In fact, so myself, the director, and who else was it? The producer. We all went to a bedding shop when we first moved into our crew house. We didn't have any bedding. We came up and we had to wait till today to get all of our Mulberry Silk bedding when Ray arrived, because he very kindly brought it all for us. So what did we do? I went to that famous bedding store, which is like what you're supposed to do when you're asleep, and we spent £30 on a synthetic duvet each.
No good.
And £25 on a
bad boy, Rob. You should be ashamed of yourself.
We had no other choice. Listen, I would have almost driven up to Scotland myself. And do you know what we're going to do with those after? Actually, I shouldn't say this because I think the management are watching. Do you know what we're going to do with
them? You can't give them away.
190 quid.
Nobody wants them.
We're going to throw them away.
Right. Yeah. Now,
why you spend that on a
Rob,
meal?
what you're telling the viewers is 100% honest.
Yeah.
No stock is held in this studio. Now, the crew from the studio have rented a house and they wanted some bedding. Other bedding is sold on Shop and TV. Every TV channel I go to, whether it's here, Canada, Holland, Germany, Spain, whatever it is, every single member of the crew eventually ends up buying Mulberry Silk. I brought with me today 1 mattress, 4 king duvets, and 8 pillows. That's £1,700 worth of bedding. Why would this company and the crew spend £1,700 in bedding if they didn't like it? They've slept on it. Now they want some for this new house.
Yeah.
Whenever the people sleep under Mulberry Silk, they will never buy any other bedding.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Can I tell you a story, Ray? This is quite funny, and I shouldn't really say it because the director's directing me now, and the producer's producing me now, and the floor manager's standing over there managing TikTok. There's a bit of a fight going on, who gets to keep them on, because we have 2 producers sharing a room, not at the same time, shifts, 2 directors and 2 floor managers. And now my son's got Mulberry Silk. One of our producers, Leslie's got Mulberry Silk, and one of our directors, Paul's got Mulberry Silk. So that means that Martha, producing tonight's getting to keep hers. Kieran, Paul has not got Mulberry Silk. Kieran has. But Kieran wants the Mulberry Silk and Paul wants the Mulberry Silk. They're going to be duking it out at the end. When we move out that house in a few months' time, if we do, they're going to be fighting over it. But do you know how did you see how happy everyone was when they knew that they had their
Mulberry Silk? And the viewers may think we're playing up to the camera.
No, not at all.
But I can honestly assure you, ladies and gentlemen, all I can tell you is this. I go all over the world selling these, and wherever I go, people are pleased to see me. Customers, crews within television studios. Eventually, one buys a duvet, and they tell the others. And eventually all of them end up with Mulberry Silk.
Can I interrupt you just for a second? We're getting some really wonderful emails tonight, and really appreciate it. By the way, we'll do some stock updates in a minute. Less than half the stock remaining of the pillow. We had hundreds of these. I didn't know if it was going to
more than hundreds.
More than hundreds. You must check out. Hi, Robin Ray. This is from Carol. How are you? I've extended that Carol because it's got an E on the end, but I assume it's just Carol. I've got the pillows. Pillowcase, it's Carol with an E. I've got the pillows, duvet and mattress. They are the best things that I've ever bought bedding wise. I would thoroughly recommend it to all your customers if they want a fabulous night's sleep. I wouldn't be without mine now. Absolutely. Of course, I mean, I concur. And then Sue says, these pillows and duvets are perfect, so comfortable. I purchased for myself and my husband and ended up buying for my 3 sons and their wives. That's what happens. You're going to come back for more. Once you that's fine. Dip your toe in the water. Test it with a pillow. And once you know it's true... do you know what? I've saved hundreds of pounds with a single Mulberry Silk duvet because 3 winters now, didn't put the heating on. My son and I, if it gets a bit chilly at night, we sit with the single duvet across us while we watch telly, and that's plenty warm enough. I mean, seriously, with our popcorn and all that kind of stuff. Best night's sleep, also wonderful for hair and skin. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I thought the duvet was light and slim when it arrived. Well, everyone does. I feel the cold and my husband feels hot. It's perfect. And we slept through the summer and winter, and now spring, and so comfortable. Thank you, from Sue. Yeah, you only need one duvet. It's the size or the weight of a summer duvet.
Something else I should mention, Rob. We're coming in shortly to summer, and caravanners will be on the road. They'll be moving around with their caravans, their motorhomes.
Oh, yeah.
I passed quite a few on the way down from Glasgow this afternoon. And caravanners, people with motorhomes, are amongst our best customers. We exhibit at every major caravan show in Britain, and we have done for 66 years, right? For 36 of them selling silk. Now, in the summer months, most caravan shows are held outdoors, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. People come on a Friday, set the caravan up, put their awning out, get all the tables and the stuff out, and then they walk around the trade stands, maybe late in the evening, buy whatever they need to make their caravan a little bit more comfortable. Sometimes, very often actually, and I say on a Friday evening, Rob, a customer, maybe a husband and wife come along, they're not sure if they want a duvet, and this is what I say. I say, take it, pay for it, obviously, take it back to your motorhome or caravan, sleep under it tonight. And if you don't agree it's the best thing you've ever slept under, tuck it under your arm, walk back in the morning. It'll take you 20, 30 seconds. Walk back, I'll refund your money. Now, the next morning, I say 30% of all the people who've bought one, say, on the Friday, do come back to buy a second duvet. Now, ask yourself this question. Say a couple who've slept under a duck, goose feather, a polyester duvet for most of their married life, maybe 25, 30 years. They sleep under this for one night, and immediately that old duvet is taken off, put in the back bedroom or in the loft as a spare, and they buy a second one for the house. I've just done an exhibition Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday in Glasgow at the SECC, the exhibition centre. I would say 25% of all the people I sold duvets to at that show were people who bought one the previous year, come back for a second one. That tells its own tale. We go back to the same venue. Yesterday we were at the Bath and West show, and next year we're at the we're at the Royal Cornwall show. The week after that, the Royal Highland. I've been going to the Royal Highland for 60 years since I was a young boy. We go back to the same venue selling the same thing. If we were telling stories on television and making false claims, the public would soon find us out. Everything you buy, money back if you're not pleased. Simply try it.
I couldn't have put it better myself. And by the way, remember that all the bedding, the duvets, standard size duvet covers, you don't actually need a duvet cover if you have white, if white is your decor. These are, you can use it as the Americans would call a comforter. Because it's got a silk, it's already got, sorry, an Egyptian cotton cover on it. So you can just...
Long fibre as well, Rob. And the difference with long fibre is extra soft, more luxurious. It can be woven in a slightly different way because it is long, so it's more breathable. It's simple, simple luxury.
And by the way, that same, the amount of mulberry silk you have in your duvets is also in your mattresses too, and they are going absolutely mad tonight. Here at shopontv.co.uk, remember we are a TV show, but also you can shop from us. We always call it This Morning Tonight. It's like this morning, but you can buy the products. And you can shop securely. We have bulletproof, military grade encryption on our website and safety measures and all kinds of stuff. And remember, you're buying from STV and ITV's partners in this shopping show, so your money is safe. Very busy. These mattresses are transformative. They honestly are. They are a medium firm mattress, if you like that. And now, that's not really the right the right graphic in a sense, because that's the standard mattress, the standard cocoon mattress. But in actual fact, you're going to get, for the price of a standard mattress, you're going to get the premium.
Well, we
pillow top
do
mattress.
regular,
Yeah.
premium,
Yeah.
and premium plus.
Oh, right.
Now, what we're offering...
That's what I've got, the premium plus.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
That's the one I brought tonight
Ah, right.
for a certain person. Who do you think that person
I wonder
might
who that
be?
could be, yes.
Who would want...
Do you know what my greatest... So, actually...
Who within this studio, Rob, would
could it
want
be?
a Super King mattress?
Kieran just said if he's got a king size bed, if you don't want to take it back with you. No, because we got all the duvets are king, but the bed is a double. So
Yeah.
I disappointingly can't go and sleep on my cocoon mattress tonight. I've got to wait till Saturday or Sunday
we
to
do
get
regular,
the right size.
premium, and premium plus.
Yes.
And what we're offering this morning, it's a wonderful offer actually. We're offering the premium plus at the same price you would normally pay for the entry level premium
Yes,
mattress.
And
Regular
I bought one for the house. I've got Super King at the house, and I've got one for the house.
Now,
yeah.
it is a medium firm
Yes,
support
yes,
mattress,
yeah.
right?
No single, unfortunately.
Now, no, unfortunately, they've all gone, and we're waiting for the next batch to come in. But we're waiting to get. There's a lot of silk in these mattresses.
Oh yeah, God, because
A lot of silk.
inside it as well.
So we're waiting for the next batch of AAA. We could use ordinary silk, Tusa silk, but why?
Why?
Why cheapen the
You
product?
only do one quality.
Why
and that's
cheapen
top.
the product?
Now, how long can you sleep on this before you decide to keep it?
The mattress.
The mattress, yeah.
Well, what we do, to explain the mattress, the short answer to your question, if you decide to buy a mattress this morning,
Yeah.
we deliver it to you, right? You have 60 days to sleep on it and try it.
60 days.
And if you're not delighted, you simply phone us up.
Yeah.
We send you a special bag. You pop it in the bag. We come along and pick it up and refund every single penny that you paid for it.
Yeah.
You have to pay for the postage. And
Yeah, but by the way,
I'm
that's
quite
just
amazed.
£10 or $9.95
Well-
to have a blooming great mat. And these are heavy, these things, believe
Oh,
me.
they're heavy, all right.
For the Super King one, I couldn't lift it on my
No,
feet,
I'll tell
yeah.
you something, Rob. When we first started making mattresses, one of the buyers came along to us in Canada. She said, why don't you make mattresses? All your products are wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
So once again, we went back to our head office and started to think about mattresses. Now, we were in a very unusual and a very fortunate position. And I'll tell you what the position was. By selling direct to the public at roughly 60, 70 shows a year, we can speak to the public and get their opinion.
Yes, sure.
Face to face. Now, we discovered there's basically two types of mattresses, memory foam or sprung mattresses.
Yes.
Now, some people like memory foam, right? But we discovered a lot of people were very unhappy with it. It actually happened to me and my wife about 9, 10, 11 years ago. We wanted a new mattress. So we went to the mattress shop. I didn't want to go, but my wife insisted, took me with her. She laid me out on the bed, and I lay there for about 3 or 4 minutes. Felt, well, it feels okay. Bought it, paid about £950 for a king size and 30 odd pounds for delivery. Had it delivered. 3 or 4 months after we started sleeping on it, both of us decided we didn't like it for this reason. Number one, it lost shape very quickly.
Yeah.
We ended up sleeping in a recess or a hollow. And of course, the real killer, you overheat and sweat
Oh, God.
on
Yeah.
memory foam.
Yeah.
So we decided to make a sprung-filled mattress. Now, this is the springs that are inside our mattress. And this is a cut-down version of the mattress. Lovely, isn't it?
I tell you, we're going to take a brief pause in a second. Do you want to hold that and do that
Yes.
then? And I don't want to interrupt,
Yeah,
just
okay.
for timing-wise. No, you can keep
No,
it up
it's
there
okay,
if you
Rob.
wish. Mary Louise says, "Hi, Shop on TV studio team. Can you please tell me on air tonight, if possible, the size of course it's possible for you, anything, the size of the Mulberry silk pillow. It's a standard size pillow.
Standard UK.
Standard UK pillow. Now, it's quite thick, but honestly, it fits in a standard pillowcase. And also, obviously, in the Mulberry silk pillowcases as well, because she wants to buy 2 of these. Mary Louise, change your life. Honestly, I never thought as a grown man who's into sci-fi and fantasy and things like that I'd be sitting here waxing lyrical about blooming duvets and pillows. It's like, I can't believe it. These are so good. And I'm really going to get into, in the next segment, we're going to break some myths about other things you could buy, because you'll argue there are lots of other good products out there. No, they blooming aren't. When it comes to bedding, nothing comes close to this, in my opinion. Nothing, in my opinion and experience. And if you buy silk, you'll pay 3, 4, 5 times as much for it for this quality anywhere else, more than likely. So this is your choice, right? Simple. Chad in Sheffield says, these duvets keep me warm all winter, even in cold hospital rooms. I now have 4 pillows too. Yeah, they do. I'll tell you a story in the next, in a minute about these, that it's all about perfect temperature. I love all of it.
Follow us across all of our social media at Shop on TV Live.
Mulberry silk bedding on Shop on TV. Welcome to anyone who's just joined us. Right, we're limited stock now on the single duvet. That means we have less than 10%. Actually, we've got one left. All right, first one to check out gets it. We started with 9 when we first announced the stock update, but basically it's about to sell out. Grab it while you can. Any other stock updates on any of the other sizes, Martha? Busy on the double. Double's always our biggest stock. 20%. Wow, 20% of the double gone. 20% of the king size gone as well. 10% of the Super King. And well done to everyone who's got it. We'll flash some of your names across the screen at some point, and I'll give you a little shout out. Look, let's. Are we going to go to the pillow, or are we staying with the duvet, or what do you want to do, Martha? Oh no, we're with the mattress. Sorry, yeah. You were about to tell the story on the mattress. Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned, we decided, having spoken to the public at length, that we would be better advised to make a mattress of springs, not memory foam.
Yes, yes.
Now, this is a cut-down version of the mattress, which, if anybody buys one tonight, it will be delivered.
Yes.
It has different layers of comfort all the way through, and a top layer of silk. And this particular mattress, the pillow top, has a second layer of silk on top, which you can see here.
Yes.
These are the springs which are inside the mattress. Now, I think from memory, there's, in a king mattress, 980 springs.
Good Lord.
Each one stands individually on its own. Each one is individually wrapped. Now, it is a medium firm support mattress. The only springs that move, you don't get motion transfer with this. The only springs that move are the springs where your body weight is directly above that particular portion of springs.
Yes.
Now, to explain that, right in the corner here, if I push that down, look, it's flat. You can see the springs either side do not move. Now, this is really good news. I weigh 18.5 stone. My wife weighs about 10 stone. When I turn over in bed at night, we don't roll over and bump into one another.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
We don't bump into one another. In other words, we get a more perfect night's sleep.
Yes.
And one final thing I will say about it, remember, you do get a 60-day trial period. It'll be delivered in a large brown box. Open it up, put it in the bed, throw the box and the bedding away, get rid of that.
So it's rolled up as
you don't have to keep that. Yeah. Get rid of the bedding, the box. If you don't like it after 60 days, and that's virtually impossible, lift the phone us, we come and take it away. Simple as that. Now, the final thing I'll mention, and this is it's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm making no ridiculous claims. But this is what happened to me and to my eldest son, Paul, who is 61 years old. Both of us have a very bad back. When I was 23 years old, I had a slip disc cut out my back. And I've had a troublesome and a very weak back ever since. Since I started sleeping in this medium firm support mattress, my back has improved tremendously. The sore back, the tender back hasn't gone away, but it has improved tremendously.
Now, obviously, everybody's experience.
That's just what I'm saying. It's only my opinion. Same for my son, Paul. When he slept on it,
Yeah.
he found it helped his back tremendously. You have got 60 days to find out if that would happen to you.
And if you don't like the mattress, you can
Send it
literally, well, you don't say, you literally make a call, they'll come and collect it. But also, if you've just bought a mattress, I spoke to someone tonight and they said, oh, we just invested in some new mattresses. Yeah, but they won't be as good as this. So, and I didn't say this because he's technically one of my bosses and I chickened out. But the fact is that if you have just spent a new mattress, that's really annoying. I bought 2 new mattresses and found out 3 days, well, how long did they take to arrive? I don't know, about a week or so to arrive because I slept on a blow-up thing. But then I only had I think it was a 48-hour money-back guarantee, so I had or cooling off period before or within which I could return them. I didn't sleep well for the first couple of nights and I thought, oh, it must just be me. And then I was stuck for the next 7 years with these 2 mattresses that have broken. Well, one's my son's mattress. He seems okay with his, but mine has broken my back. I prefer to sleep on my sofa or anywhere else except on my actual mattress in my bedroom. Now, can I politely, Ray, tell you a little story about my bottom?
Must you, Rob?
There's a point.
Go for it, Rob. Go for it.
My bottom is red raw because we've been in the crew house since Thursday, and I've been up here since last Thursday, and they really decorated the house to a very high standard.
Right.
But the mattresses are the cheapest serpentine spring mattresses money can buy, and when I sit on them, I hit the bed frame. And I end up with half a spring up my bum.
They cut you like a cheese wire.
Honestly, sitting up in bed, because I fall asleep sometimes.
I do too.
The backs of my
Rob,
legs,
I do
my
too.
bum, and my back. Honestly, I've been walking like a crooked old man. It's that's why I'm so actually disappointed that I can't take my mattress home tonight.
Well, we'll sort that problem.
Yes, overnight it, if you wouldn't mind, please, sir. I'll pay extra because this is just a godsend.
Yeah, yeah.
And look, if you do have
remember,
a mattress,
Rob, we haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
The we forgot to mention this. 2 massive advantages of this mattress.
No dust mites. Or few.
No dust mites, so people with allergies, a must.
Yes.
And 2 people share a bed. One likes a bed warm, one likes it less warm. This is the mattress for you. It self-reflects, it keeps you cool. It's a most wonderful way to sleep. You have 60 days to try it. You have a money-back guarantee. Just try it. You're going to be happy, that's for sure.
Now, apologies, I just realised I've had the Shop on TV iPad upside down. But I need to take the cover off and twist it because the screen's stuck and I don't know how to change it. Hi, Rob and Ray. I persuaded my husband to purchase a Super King Mulberry Silk duvet for our king-size bed a few years ago. Yeah. I used to feel cold in bed and he used to feel too hot. A Mulberry Silk duvet has solved all our problems. It doesn't feel heavy and I never feel cold, and now hubby never throws the duvet off him. Then we purchased the pillows. Game changer. No more horrible flat pillows. Yep, you'll never see a flat pillow again with one of these around, ever, for the rest of your life, really, I imagine. And recently I tentatively washed them. Tentatively? Throw them in. Previous pillows always went lumpy after washing them and were never comfortable again. I do, though. I do mine on a regular, sort of, not even a delicate
They
side.
can't go lumpy because the silk is long fibre. Each strand is over 1 mile long.
Yeah, yeah. And there's how many miles in there, do you reckon?
Well, with the reckon in a pillow, it can be as much as 5-10 miles, all wrapped round.
10 miles.
Yes.
And about 15 in the duvet.
15 in the
if you've got a
duvet,
Super King. The Mulberry Silk pillows kept their shape and were back on my bed the same day. They're an absolute best. We recommend them to everyone. By the way, Ray has a lovely soothing voice. I could listen to him all evening. Best wishes to you all, Denise.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Carol says, hi, bought myself a King duvet, pillows and pillowcases 3 or 4 years ago, or 3/4 of a year ago, one of the two. And they are the best. The duvet is as light as it can be. And when you have 2 people sharing the bed, you don't get that gapping between you like you do with ordinary duvets. The silk duvet follows the curve of the body and stops that gapping completely. So good were the pillows, my friend had me order 2 for her, and she loves them too. I'd love a mattress, but I don't know much about them. Well, if you imagine how good the pillows and the duvets are, what you sleep on is also as good. May I just have 2 seconds
Right.
to indulge the audience, Ray?
Right.
And then I'll put it back to you. This is not about bedding. Nothing about we're talking about tonight is about bedding, Ray, is it? It's about a good night's sleep. You spend a third of your life in bed. A third of your life. You know, if you live to 80, that's let's say to 90. It's easier maths. It's 30 years. No, yeah, 30 years in bed. But here's the thing. Your sleep gets interrupted. You have to rely on dumbing senses. I just bought a sleep mask because the rooms in our house are a little bit too bright and we have to sleep during the day, and now the sun's up by the time we leave the studio. It's horrible. Doing this kind of shift work is thankless, horrible work for the time-wise. I mean, we love the work, but we don't love the coming out and the birds are chirping. So what's important for a good night's sleep are the following. You need darkness. We work on a circadian rhythm. We're programmed to wake up when it's light and go to sleep when it's dark. That's number one. You're in charge of that, or get a sleep mask. Temperature, huge one. If you're too hot, you wake up. If you're too cold, you wake up. That's where these duvets come in handy, and the pillows, because they regulate your temperature so that you stay the right temperature all night long. Sound, if it's very loud, it's going to be hard to sleep, so try and make your room as quiet as possible. Smell, really important. People forget about this one. It's actually very strong, your sense of smell. Have a nice smell, nothing pungent, nothing that's going to keep you awake, something nice and soothing like a lavender. And then noise. And did we talk about noise? Yeah, I mean, I live on a main road, so make it as quiet as dark, as quiet, as you know, as nice smelling as you possibly can. Those are the things you're in control of. But then the most important aspects of any good night's sleep are what you sleep on. If you sleep on a mattress where the springs are sticking up your bum and in your back and you're wobbling around and you can't get comfortable and you wake up with your back aching, that's not giving you a good night's sleep. What you sleep under, if your duvet is overheating you, and every duvet you use that isn't this will probably be overheating you, or if it's a summer duvet underheating you, you wake up because you get too cold, that's going to wake you up and it's going to interrupt your sleep. And then what you put your head on. If your head gets sweaty and hot, you wake up, you turn the pillow because suddenly it's moist. That is going to wake you up. These are all things that interrupt your sleep. You need to get your 8 or 9 hours of perfect sleep to go through all of those cycles of 5 stages of sleep. And you need to get them in order to get the most benefit from your sleep. So I promise you, and this is a really bold statement, and it's the last thing I'm going to do on my soapbox before I hand you back, go over to Ray. If you've never slept on a Mulberry silk mattress or under a Mulberry silk duvet with your head on a Mulberry silk pillow, and all the other elements in your room, you know, it's nice and dark and it's nice and quiet, and you know, you've got your little aromatherapy thing going off in the corner. I guarantee you that I would bet you every penny I have in the bank, all my life savings, that you have not slept as close to as well as A, you need to, and B, that you can, and I believe will, with the Mulberry silk bedding. What you're buying tonight is a good night's sleep, finally a proper night's sleep. And if you've never had one, and I bet you a lot of you watching genuinely have never had a proper night's sleep, out of curiosity for because look, you're intelligent people. You're not going to say, well, I don't want to sleep well, Rob. No, I want a horrible night's sleep, please. I want to be irritable all day long and unable to focus and feel lousy. Of course you're not going to say that. So I know for a fact everyone wants the best night's sleep they can get, right? And if you've got Mulberry silk bedding, you're getting it, right? True? All these testimonials say so. I know so. I know everyone here knows so because we've all got Mulberry silk. But if you've never had Mulberry silk and you've slept on man-made fibres or hollow fibres, synthetic fibres, or any feather products in the duvet or the pillow or whatever, I know for a fact, and I'm telling you, you just don't know what it's like to have a proper night's sleep. You've never had one. You haven't had one yet. So isn't that worth trying? If not a duvet, at least start with a pillow. But I'd at least get a duvet and a pillow. Is that not worth trying for your own peace of mind, your own sanity, the sake of your own good night's sleep? Who doesn't want a good night's sleep? This is going to give it to you, we believe, better than anything else you've ever used before or ever experienced before. So to not buy it, to me, this is why I spend so much money on Mulberry silk. Because to me, What? I'd just be shortchanging myself, wouldn't I, Ray? If I
Well,
just
not only
didn't
you,
invest in
Rob,
my
as we
sleep.
mentioned earlier, every single member of the crew and the staff within this building. Now, you sell all sorts of bedding on this channel. This is the one they bought. And every single TV studio I go to, eventually the staff, one person buys a duvet, and within 6-9 months, everybody within the building ends up sleeping under silk.
Yeah.
Because silk is special.
Yeah.
It really is. And you're never going to beat silk. It's a unique fabric. It has qualities no other fabric has. And you can wash it as often as you want.
Do you want to talk about the pillowcases?
Yes, have you got one there?
Our poor
Have you got a
pillowcase.
pillowcase there?
Yeah, our poor pillowcases have been neglected, I feel. There you
Right.
go, sir. Forgot all about them.
Now, this is how your pillowcase comes to you. I'll take this one out. Two little words of warning I'll just mention to you. Very often, when I'm at a live exhibition, people look at how beautiful that is.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
You know, I've been selling.
Sorry.
You know, Rob, I've been selling silk for 36 years.
Have you?
And every time I unwrap one of these, just the feel of it is fabulous. It just caught me there when I took a new one out the packet.
Yeah.
Right, now watch this. Very often people say to me, they say, I've read about these pillowcases. They stop your wrinkling, don't they? Now, unfortunately, Rob, nothing will stop your wrinkling. But what you can do, you can slow the process down. You can fight against the wrinkles. Now, in silk, there are 18 amino acids. One of them, a very important one, is called sericin. You spell that S-E-R-I-C-I-N, sericin. When you sleep in a cotton pillowcase, cotton, now this is not ridiculous sales talk, it's a fact. Cotton will take the moisture from your skin. And incidentally, cotton will do something else. Very often when a lady or a man, very often men as well, but ladies in particular, they go to bed at night, they put expensive face creams on. They may have paid 30, 40, 50 pounds for. Then they put the head on a cotton pillowcase. Not only will the cotton and the pillowcase take the moisture from the skin, it will take the expensive cream from the skin as well, or a big part of it. Now, silk stops that happening. Silk traps the moisture in your skin. It keeps your skin hydrated. So the wrinkling process takes much longer, many years. Ask your hairdresser what it does for your hair. If he or she is knowledgeable, they will tell you there is no static in silk, so it cuts out frizz. And if you have long hair in particular, you don't have to tie it up at night. You don't get bedhead. But let me give you a little word of warning. I'm going to show you something. Right, look at this beautiful silk. It really is stunning, you know. This has happened quite a lot recently. Two things. Number one, people see silk pillowcases advertised on the internet. They think they're dealing with a British company, but in actual fact, the silk has been sent all the way from China. And when the pillowcase arrives, the silk is only on one side. And secondly, this is even more dangerous when you are buying silk. Very often, the pillowcase, there's only 20 or 30% silk in it. What they do, they get cotton polyester, they polish it so it looks like silk. And to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference. Now, read the label on our pillowcases. These are the highest grade silk you can possibly get. There are no inferior fibers mixed in. But here's something very special. On the inside of this pillowcase, we have a special machine which sprays a very thin layer of cotton onto the inside. Now, we do that for a reason. Compared to silk, cotton is coarse, it's rough. And what it does, when you put the pillow into the pillowcase, the cotton grips the pillow and it holds it perfectly flat like a sheet of glass. and you get no wrinkles on the pillow. So when you get this pillowcase, take it out the wrapping, iron it, put your pillow in it, and I tell you this, it's the best thing you've ever bought. I have no hesitation in saying, if you were lucky enough to find a shop in the United Kingdom selling silk this quality, and you'd have to be very lucky.
Yeah.
For a pillowcase like this, you spend at least £45, £50. They're on offer here tonight at £35, and that really is a bargain. My advice to anyone, if you have any member of your family who takes a pride in their appearance, who wants their skin to look good, wonderful, wants their hair to look absolutely beautiful, treat yourself to a silk pillowcase. Wash it as often as you want. It won't lose shape. It won't lose its luster because it's long fibre silk. Beautiful.
Mulberry silk pillow is for life, not just for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right, just so you know, the pillows, the pillows, what is it, about a third of the stock left, something like that? And by the way, just so you know the colours of the pillow cases, so you've got Arctic Blue,
Yeah.
which is the blue one. You've got Sage, which is the green one, obviously. You have the Desert, which is the sandy
This is a fabulous colour.
I love that colour.
I have
White.
10 grandchildren, 6 boys, 4 girls. All the girls are aged 14 to 17. They all went for this one. The younger girls, they all love this for their bedroom. It just looks modern. It's not, it doesn't attack you. It's the most beautiful, lovely colour to have on your bed. It looks nice, doesn't it?
It's luxury. Single guys.
As usual, Rob, you
Silk.
summed it up. One word.
Well, it
luxury.
is.
Well, you said that, you've said everything.
Well, you know, I have in my time been known to spend, a small fortune on a fancy hotel room, especially if I'm courting, and or on a TV screen, definitely. But occasionally, I love luxury. It's as simple as that. And usually, luxury costs you money, doesn't it? Now, because we deal directly, Shop on TV deal directly with RK Sales, which is Ray's company, there's no agent, there's no distributor, there's no wholesaler, there's no advertising. This is the shop window.
One lady
we don't
said
have
to
bricks
me,
and
Rob,
mortar.
one lady said to me recently, she came up to one of our stands. She said, I watched you for years. Every year I come along and I see you there selling your stuff.
Yes.
Eventually, she said, I bought some of your pillowcases. She said, I can't believe how wonderful they are. My head never gets hot on them.
No,
They're just beautiful against my skin.
Yeah.
She says, I feel you've sold me champagne for the price of beer.
Oh, I love that.
Sums it
Yeah,
up beautifully.
Actually, I was going to say with the pillowcases, look, obviously do your own research about silk. We can't make claims about because we've not tested that our pillowcases do exactly the things that silk has been proven to do. But if silk's been proven to do certain things, our pillowcases are 100% pure silk. As David Brent would go. Right, a couple of little more reviews here. Actually, talking of what you just said, Val says, I've watched your show many times and I've been very tempted, but today I decided to try the pillows first.
Thank you, Val.
Good, just placed my order. They're like a sort of a gateway bedding.
Entry.
Entry, exactly. I'll let you know what you think. Please do, Val. I'd really love, next time we do a show together, please do email. Honest. And now, I tell you what, if I had an email on here saying, Mulberry Silk's rubbish, it's all a load of lies, I'd read it out because I know there's no one that's ever going to say that. In fact, actually, to the contrary, this is, I don't have the name of this. Oh, no, Colin. Sorry, thank you, Colin. How are you? I've had the duvet for 18 months and added the pillowcase, and recently the mattress. Absolute luxury at an affordable price. Everything Rob and Ray are saying is the absolute truth. Product is excellent. Look, I've got 2 mattresses now. I have 2, 3, 4 duvets, and I have 2, 4, 6 pillows. And there's a very good reason for that. I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you that I do all right here. I'm not rich by any stretch, but I do okay. I'm not hard up. And I've been very wise with my money and saved a lot of it. And look, I can splash out on things occasionally. When we moved into the house, I spent £530 on my creature comforts, tax deductible. But the first thing I went for was, right, well, we've got to get Mulberry silk, isn't it? First thing, got to get Mulberry silk bedding for the house, because it's everything. Creature comforts are creature comforts.
Well,
but sleep is essential to life, and good sleep is essential.
As you mentioned
to
earlier,
the quality of life.
If a person, I've checked these figures, so I know they're accurate. I checked them this morning. If I mention it in TV, it's accurate. So I checked it this morning.
Yes.
If a person is born today in Britain, a man can expect to live for 79 years, a woman for 82. Ooh. So that means a man would spend 26 years of his life in bed trying to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a pair of shoes that were pinching your feet and hurting, you wouldn't wear those shoes for 26 years.
No.
You'd replace them.
But people
go to bed on a mattress which hurts their back,
yeah,
a pillow that cricks their neck,
and then they say,
duvet,
"Oh, I slept funny."
A duvet that wakens them up in the middle of the night because they're too hot. People just waking up because they're too hot.
Yeah, but Ray, isn't it true that if you have a lousy night's sleep, you usually have a lousy day?
Yeah,
so
you don't function as well.
So the having a good night's sleep is essential to the quality of your life.
I remember
while you're
once
awake.
I was going on a flight from Glasgow to Canada, and the guy next to me turned out to be a doctor, and we got talking, and he said to me, he said, why are you going to Canada? I says, well, I sell stuff in television there. Yeah. And he said, what do you sell? I said, well, I sell silk bedding and stuff and that. He said, oh, and we got talking, and he said, people don't realize what a wonderful thing is for the overall health, a good night's sleep. Then he said something that stunned me.
Go on.
Right, now you were mentioning tonight how much weight you'd lost. Very impressive.
Oh, thank you.
You've lost quite a lot of weight.
Yes, yeah.
And so have I. I've lost nearly 5 stone.
Yeah.
Right? And I was driving along in my car about 3-4 weeks ago, and I had Radio 4 on, and this doctor was talking, and he repeated something the doctor told me on the plane. A good night's sleep can help you in no uncertain fashion lose weight.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to explain why?
Yes, please do.
Yeah. Now, my producer's going bananas. Calm down. I've got this, I got it. Obviously, we can't guarantee that a good night's sleep, because of these products, is going to help you lose weight. But actually, it's true what you said. I've read the research, and I've watched many videos about this. That is because when you don't sleep well, it raises your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. There are 2 fat storage hormones.
Makes sense.
There's cortisol, and there is insulin. Now, I'm not a doctor. This is just purely facts that I've found for my own weight loss. I've lost 4 stone so far. It's working. And it's about keeping insulin low in order to lose weight or fat. And so if you're stressed, then your cortisol levels are high, you store more fat. Also, you tend to eat more as well because you're irritable and what have you, and you don't make good choices necessarily. Obviously, do your own research. Go find the facts for yourselves. But it is, I can confirm in my research, something that I can verify as being generally thought of as true.
Ross, in the words of one of my granddaughters, you are no longer fat, you're now pleasantly plump.
Right, yes. I've still got about 7 stone to go. Now, did I just hear that the pillow's nearly limited stock? We had hundreds of
That's
these.
not possible.
If everyone checks out now. Look, folks, I don't normally say this. Buy it. Will you please just go and buy it now? Pay for it. Pay for it. Because I'm telling you, if you don't have Mulberry silk bedding, if you're sleeping on duck, goose, feather, down, or if you're sleeping on hollow fibre, you're not sleeping properly. Your quality of your sleep is going to be nowhere near as good as it will with this. So for goodness sake, just get over yourself if you're afraid of shopping from telly. Seriously, come on. You shop on the internet. There's no oversight on the internet for giving your money to anybody. But this is ITV and STV. We're governed by Ofcom and the Advertising Standards Authority.
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof. Your money's safe. The facts we're telling you tonight are true. They have to be, or we wouldn't be on the air. So for goodness sake, get yourself at least a pillow. Do what others have done if you're really skeptical. And if you're just somebody that won't buy from television just because, fine, don't sleep as well. You're never gonna. If you don't sleep with one of these, you're just not gonna, I don't believe. Or something, you know, that is exactly the equivalent from another brand, but there aren't many out there. So please, ironically, before you go to bed, make sure you get your bedding. You know, if you leave this till tomorrow, the pillow will be gone. So go to the website, shopontv.co.uk, add one to your basket, or two if you've got one a pair. Click your basket, and where it says check out securely, or even just buy now, you can check out as a guest. You don't have to set up an account. You can do it, you know, however you like. But you've got to check, you've got to pay now, or otherwise your sleep's just going to stay as bad as it is.
Remember to check out your online basket and complete your order. Once you pay, it's on the way from Shop on TV.
I once went into a shop and I filled my basket. It was a supermarket. I filled my basket and I walked up to the checkout and I left the shop. And the lady said, "You're not going to pay for all of that?" I said, "Well, yeah, but maybe I'll come back later." Know what I mean?
Jimmy?
Seriously, oh no, obviously, I'm not going to force you. I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make it drink. If you don't believe us, you don't believe us. There's nothing I can do. But the wise people do, and they trust. You can trust me. You should trust me. I do know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you.
Well, first of all, you're buying from a company, Shop on TV, who are policed.
Yeah.
And they're a reputable company. We've been in business for 66 years. We're a family-owned business.
Yeah.
We do our best to keep our customers. We give you what I'm trying to say, we give you a wonderful after-sales service. If you phone our office, somebody, a live person, will answer the telephone. And we will make sure, we will bend over backwards to make sure that you're a happy customer.
And not just today or tomorrow or a month from now.
No.
For the life of, for your life.
Yeah. Well, my son runs a business now.
Has he got kids?
Yes, he's got
so
3
he'll start
kids.
training them at some point.
They're over, as I mentioned earlier, in America.
That's right, yeah.
A football tournament. They did quite well, so they're coming back tomorrow.
Fabulous.
And I'm looking forward to seeing them.
And I'm looking forward to Martin coming back so he can ship my mattress.
Yeah.
Now, here are the sizes of the duvets. They're standard UK sizes, standard single. I've only got a couple of the, no, it was one, wasn't it? I think the single left. It's still ain't got, it's now a few bounced back apparently. They didn't, maybe credit cards didn't go through, this happens. But there are we single figures again or? Yeah, we are single. We've got 6. Okay, so we've got 6 now. Double, usually $239. We've got it for $179. King, $259. Usually we've got it for $199. Super King, $279. But that's full price, and our price is $219. Please remember that if you have these, they're all guaranteed for 10 years, but they're also backed up by Mulberry Silk after those dates as well. But the only thing really, unless you mistreat your duvet, the only thing that's going to happen is eventually, after a long time, after a few decades, the silk won't wear out, but the cotton will. And there's not really much you can do.
Well, remember, we are using long fibre cotton.
Yeah, so you might get 50 years.
Just to explain,
do you think it could last 50 years? Or would that be pushing it?
I think that'd be pushing it. I would say we estimate, it's an estimate, that anybody who buys one of our duvets, well, in my bed, they're 29 years old. In July, they'll be 30 years old.
You put a duvet cover on yours?
Yes.
So if you put a duvet cover on, maybe that would last longer.
Yeah, I would no, in Canada, where I sell them, I'll be selling them in Canada next week.
Yeah.
In Canada, I would say 50% of all the people don't put a duvet cover on.
No, because in the North,
because the quality of that cotton is so high.
The comforter.
And it's so soft and beautiful.
Yeah.
They just pop it on the bed. It looks lovely on the bed.
I bought white sheets and things for my bed at home because that way I don't need to put a duvet cover, because I hate putting duvet covers on. But
you
can wash them. You can wash your duvet.
We estimate that. Yeah, wash them a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry.
Yeah.
Once or twice a year, on a warm sunny day, drop them over the washing line in the garden, and the UV rays of the sun will totally purify and cleanse them. Remember,
grinning.
something I should mention, we haven't mentioned it yet. Anybody who unfortunately has a member of the family who's bedbound, this is the most wonderful duvet to have. People who are bedbound, very often these big heavy duvets, they hurt the knees, the elbows, and in particular their toes. And they press down on them. Now this duvet is light. The biggest one we make is a Super King. It weighs 2.5 kilos. That's less than 2 small bags of sugar. So anybody who's bedbound, number one, it wicks away 30% of its own weight and moisture as sweat, so you don't overheat, right? There are no dust mites in it at all. That's not me saying that. That's not Rob saying it. That's the United Kingdom Allergy Board. And here's the certificate to prove it. Now, if you are bedbound, you'll know you eat in bed, you have your hair washed in bed, body washes, little accidents happen. You can take this off, pop it in the machine, fits in any standard UK machine, wash it quickly, dry it quickly in the tumble dryer. Because we're using long fiber silk, it cannot, absolutely cannot, and will not lose shape. So you can never have to pay 25, 30 pounds to have it dry cleaned. When you buy this, as I mentioned right at the beginning of the show, it is an investment. It's an all-weather duvet, the same duvet winter and summer. It reflects your body heat, it self-regulates. There is no tog rating with silk. It's as simple as that. Buy it, try it. Instant money back, no arguing if you're not thrilled with it. I can't remember the last time we had 1 cent back. All I know is when people see me when I'm at a live show or one of my sons, they're so happy to see us. They say, you know, I've got one, it's just wonderful, and off they go. And it's nice when you're selling a product like that and people are happy with it.
How many people do you think over the years have bought a Mulberry silk duvet and pillow?
In Britain, or you mean overall?
Well, in Britain, or overall, if you had any idea.
Tens of millions.
Tens of millions.
Because we export to 35 countries throughout the world. So in Britain, many millions over the 36 years. The pillows, the pillows are just sensational. Anybody who's watching who has a pillow, perhaps in a basket, I'm just saying to you, trust us. Trust us, buy it, get it out the basket, buy it.
You know what, Ray? 144 people have got this in their basket and they haven't checked.
Trust us, get it out the basket, buy it.
Honestly,
it'll be the best pillow you ever buy, and if it isn't, we will refund your money. You have nothing to lose by trying it. Simple.
When I say I don't mean that disrespectfully, because the reason you put it in your basket is because you're interested in what we're saying, right? And you want to have a better night's sleep, yes. And you want to sleep better than you ever have before, preferably, right? And you want to save money, yes? So when it's in your basket, is that going to help you do any of those things? No. But when you check out and pay, it is, isn't it? Right? So may I suggest you do that now? Major credit cards, debit cards are accepted. Also, by the way, you can spread the cost with PayPal Pay in 3. You can use PayPal as a payment method, but if you choose PayPal and then go and log into your PayPal account if you have one, create one if you don't, then you have the option to pay later. Make sure you select that. PayPal will ask you a few simple questions to get you approved for the interest-free instalments, and that's it. The order will be placed, it'll be on the way. You can actually spend from £30 to £2,000, and once you're approved, I believe that you can then continue to use that credit when you've paid it off. You can come back and buy things again. I haven't really looked into that, but you'll find out yourself when you do it. So, for example, buying the double. Now, yes, I know 179 quid is more than the 30 quid we just paid for the worst duvet on the planet, but that's because we were only going to keep it for a week and throw it away. It's £18 a year if it just lasted for 10 years. But if it lasted for the 30 years that many other customers have had theirs, that's £6 a year for a duvet. That is the best duvet money can. It is the best duvet money can buy. I can't normally say that on TV. I can't guarantee it's the best duvet money can buy because I can't prove it. but I can guarantee it's the best duvet money can buy from my experience.
All you have to do
from
is
having
try
slept
it.
under one for nearly 6 years.
Rob, I mentioned earlier, I live in a small village, 6 miles from the centre of Glasgow. There's 1,700 people live in that village. And because it's a small village, it's a conservation village, we more or less know everybody. And in the local supermarket where I live, my wife's not particularly well, so I have to do all the shopping at the moment. And I was in the supermarket a few months back, and the lady at the checkout said to me, she said, I saw you on TV last night. She said, are these pillows really as good as you say? And I burst out laughing. I said, of course they are. She said, well, could you bring me 2 in, please? And I said, you sell pillows here in the supermarket, 2 for £10. Oh, she says, the staff know they're rubbish. She said, nobody buys them. The staff know they're rubbish. But the point is, they're still selling them.
Yeah.
Every year, 7 million pillows are thrown out into landfill in the United Kingdom. I was in a very large shop. I'm not going to mention, well, I will mention the name. I was in a very large shop, Costco.
Yes.
Right? They had a mountain of pillows a few months ago. I think they were selling them at £6 each. They were filled, I couldn't believe it. I read the label, I couldn't believe it. Recycled plastic bottles.
Wow.
Imagine a July evening hot. You put your head on a pillow full of plastic bottles with a thin, cheap cover. That's the pillows people constantly buy, and they throw them away. If you buy cheap, you buy twice. The average lady with a husband and 2 children, according to the Bedding Association, who are knowledgeable people, they're clever people, they know what they're talking about. The average lady buys 30 or 40 pillows a year. When we sold this pillow in the first 13 months...
do you mean in their lifetime?
Yeah, sorry, in a lifetime. Now, when we sold this pillow in the first 13 months, we sold 86,000 pillows with a money-back guarantee. We got 19 returned out of 86,000.
Now, Martha did do the calculation once. I think 19 out of 86,000 is about 0.0002% return rate. It's probably the lowest return rate in retail history.
Really wonderful, you know.
Yeah.
I sleep on them at home. You sleep on them.
Oh, they're so... Now, I tell you what, because I don't think you need more than one of these per person. What I will sometimes do if I'm laying on my side is I just tuck the corner under, and that, whoops, it lifts the bit of loft. But you don't have to have your arm under it doing the Superman pose or anything like that.
Well, that's how I sleep. I sleep like this.
Yeah, some like to do that. You know, they are so. They give you the support, they give you the loft, the height to keep your neck and spine aligned. So I never again.
It tells you on the label exactly what's in them. If you were to cut it open in the middle, you have a little pocket of fibre. That's to give you support for your neck and shoulders. All the way around.
Wait. These are limited. They've gone limited. That means we've got less than 10% remaining.
What, pillows?
Pillows, yeah. I think that's only about 20 or 30 pillows, something like that. If everyone checks out, they're gonna go. You've got to check out now. Go on, I can wait. Off you go.
That's an amazing amount of pillows you've sold.
Well, not that we've sold. I think they sell themselves. I don't mean to contradict you, but they bought because they trust us, and because Ray, we've been around the block. And do you know what? I'm selfish, and I like to make money. If you got a rubbish product from me and didn't like it and sent it back, I wouldn't have this job.
Here's something that might make the viewers laugh. I was in a TV studio in America a few years back.
Yeah.
In Phoenix, in Arizona, and I was in the green room, and this American guy came in. He was a really nice guy, and he said to me, he said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm here to sell duvets and pillows and that type of thing." And he said to me, he said, "What's your gimmick?" And I was really taken aback.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, hold on a minute. We don't have a gimmick."
No.
And after about 15, 20 seconds, I thought, hold on. I said to him, hold on, I've changed my mind. We do have a gimmick. He said, "What's your gimmick?" I said, "Our gimmick is we don't have a gimmick. Our gimmick is we rely on absolute quality."
Quality and truth.
And that guy
integrity
is no longer in business.
Yeah.
We are.
Let's go back to the
36
duvets.
years.
Ray, let's go back to basics.
Okay.
So the key, can I just give the bullets and then you can go in depth?
Come on.
Number one. Okay, I can do this off the top of my head, easy. Number one, AAA grade mulberry silk, the finest silk money can buy. There is no better you can buy anywhere in the world for any amount of money. It's all in here. Full length, a mile or more long, full length fibres, the entire cocoon unravelled. You get about 50 in a king size. You get about 15 miles, right?
Yes.
Is that right? In a pillow, about 8 miles. So that's 15 strands roughly joined together, stitched in place, cassetted
Put in a honeycomb fashion.
into the honeycomb. Is that how they do it, in like a
Yeah.
honeycomb fashion?
Yeah.
So that's number one. So who cares about silk? Well, silk has natural temperature regulating properties. It keeps you warm in the winter, but never too warm, just right. No matter if you run cold, you'll be the perfect temperature. If you run hot, you'll be the perfect or the ideal temperature for you. It is a bespoke night's sleep because silk regulates the temperature. And if you've got two people in the same bed, one who runs hot, one who runs cold, under the same duvet, both people are going to get the ideal bespoke comfort that they want in terms of the temperature that they need to be to sleep well. That's how it works. It dissipates excess heat, so it's all about the ratio of the amount of heat that you emit versus the amount that is dissipated and the amount that is retained. It does it. Mother Nature knows the secret. It does it perfectly. It wicks away 30% of the moisture. Or up to 30% of its weight in moisture. So if you sweat into it, it's wicked away and then evaporates. It's not stored in here to build up bacteria and encourage dust mites, who, by the way, don't like to live in it because it's silk. It's like living in the Sahara Desert for us. Also comes with the Allergy UK seal of approval. So basically it's effective against dust mites. If they don't live there, there's no allergen. If you take the allergen away, then sufferers of allergies and asthma and things like that, it reduces their exposure to that. It makes things a little bit better, right? It's logical. It's got a 10-year guarantee. At least 10 years, you know that you're covered, if you'll pardon the pun. It's also got a money back guarantee. You know, we at Shop on TV do offer a refund policy, but if you've opened it and used it, that invalidates the Shop on TV refund policy. But that's where RK Sales, the supplier of the people, the Ray's company, come in. You call them and they'll give you your money back if you're not happy. You can try this pillow, you can use it, you can sleep on it for up to 30 days, and if you're not happy and you decide, oh, no, I want my money back, you call the number or you get in touch
Rob, we don't get any sent back.
No, of course you don't.
It's simple.
Because once people have slept on this, you couldn't pry it from their cold dead
The
hand.
Bedding Association reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, now they're not.
Yeah, we're on the duvets,
But
though.
if
We
they
must talk
were,
about the duvets.
if they were,
Yeah.
65% of all pillows would be sent back.
Sent back, yeah.
We
But-
get 19 returned out of 86,000.
Yeah.
Anybody with them in the
0.0002.
basket, get them out, get them bought,
Yeah.
put them in
But
the
the
bed.
same with the duvet.
Duvet.
Now those, I don't know what are the laws on duvets. So you know those hollow fibres that we bought temporarily we're all going to throw away?
Yeah, you can't give them away.
You can't give them back. You
if
can't
you
give
took
them away.
them back, say, to a supermarket,
Yeah.
right, they would say, sorry, we can't take it back.
Yeah.
Because
I went to a
they
bedding
have
store,
to, they have to go to landfill.
Yeah.
Every year, I think they reckon 5 million duvets go to landfill. 7 million pillows, 5 million duvets. People buy a cheap duvet and they wish they hadn't bought it after a few months.
Well, we knew what we were doing, but we can't return them because we've all slept under ours.
Well,
So
not
they're just
only
gonna
that,
go,
very often shops only stock cheap duvets.
Yeah.
You know, very few shops go for the luxury end.
Well, because they know that
Quality
they're going to
end.
go. They're going to go flat. They're going to go hard.
Yeah.
They're going to be smelly.
And
they're
then
going
they have to buy another one.
And they have to go buy another one.
So they make more money.
Yeah. So I think that was all of the Egyptian cotton exterior cover, long fibre, luxury.
Just go through it again. I'll explain.
Yeah.
The duvet comprises of two component parts: the top cover and the filling within the top cover.
Yeah.
Now the top cover is long fibre Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Long fibre cotton is different to short fibre cotton. 95% of all the cotton sold in Britain is short fibre. If cotton is picked using a machine or a mechanical device, cotton stresses and it breaks, and you get short fibre cotton.
Yeah.
If cotton is picked by hand, it doesn't stress. You get long fibre cotton. And long fibre cotton, that's what we're using here. Long fibre cotton is softer, more luxurious, extra breathable, can be woven in a slightly different way, and ironically is stronger and lasts longer.
Yeah.
So the top cover is as close to perfection as you can possibly get.
Yes.
The filling within the top cover, 100% AAA grade Mulberry silk. No inferior fibers mixed in with it. Read the label when it's delivered to you. We have to put the label on by law. No inferior fibers, the best of the best. It's been manufactured by a company, I think it's fair to say, we have a stellar reputation for quality.
Yeah. 66 years in.
66 years in business, a 10-year warranty. That's pretty good. All weather, winter and summer. Yeah, you just.
That's the size. What size is that one? I can't see. Is that Super King?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest one. That's how big.
The largest one we make is a Super King.
Yeah, I've got one.
It weighs 2.2 kilos.
Fits in a front-loading 7.5 kilo machine.
Yeah.
By the way, you can tumble dry them, but I actually put mine on a clothes horse. I double it up, lay it out on the clothes.
And once or twice, you can tumble dry. And my wife washes them on average 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And she tumble dries them. And the duvets we have in my bed at home, although they're guaranteed for 10 years and nearly 30 years old. Silk is the second strongest natural fiber in the world. So when you buy this duvet, you only need to buy it once. You're not going to have to replace it in 7 or 8 years' time. Consider it, look upon it as an investment, because that's exactly what it is. You're investing in luxury and, in our estimation, a good, contented night's sleep. You won't waken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, half of the duvet on the floor. It's a cocoon fiber.
2 left on the single.
It's a cocoon fiber. It just drapes around you and stays there. It doesn't walk.
Can I just say, it's free. It's completely free to set up an account with Shop on TV. Can we show this, Martha? Could we go to the website? Would you mind? And if you go to, no, because can you? What am I going to say? Could you go to the account? I want to go to the account. So if all we need to set up an account is your name, address, phone number, and email, because then we can send you tracking information and things like that. But there is an address book, so you can add an address book, or in your address book, you can add as many addresses as you like with the phone number and name. So if you add an address, you can put the person's name, the person's mobile number, and all of that, and the actual address itself. You can have as many of those as you like, so you can have this actually sent to anywhere. The reason I'm making that, but now also you can check out as a guest if you want to, and you still get tracking information. We'll need an email address, obviously. We never share your information. We never sell it. It's it's purely, completely, 100% safe with us. You can buy now as well. You don't even have to add to the basket. You can just literally buy now, but you've got to check out securely there. Go to your basket. There's a little basket icon top right, and check it out. Check your address. Use your payment method. Spread the cost if you want by picking PayPal, and away you go. And look, if you prefer to do it I was going to say the old-fashioned way, but the linear way, you can also call us 0333 241 241. But you do need to check out because the pillow is literally about to sell out. We've actually, I believe, now got more people trying to order it than we have stock available. So it is a must for you to get it. And as I say, it may very well be the pillow is what gets you to try it. If you're not happy, it's cost you $4.95 p&p. We have to pay the postman. We can't get that refunded. But you'll get every penny of whatever you paid for a duvet or a pillow or a pillowcase. The only bedding that is returnable at any time, really. I mean, within sort of the first 30 days for your trial.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, retailers simply won't take bedding back. Under the Health and Hygiene Act, they're not allowed to.
And you can't, if this comes back, you can't give it to a charity. You have to destroy it.
What we actually do is burn it.
Yeah, because
But we don't get any sent back, Rob.
No.
I genuinely can't remember having a duvet sent back in years.
Who'd return that good night's sleep?
Oh, that sums it up beautifully.
Tell us some of your stories. I'd love to hear some stories about the charlatans out there who will try and flog people in expensive duvet, past masquerading as Mulberry.
Well, not only charlatans. The next time I come down, I'll bring down an article from the South China Post, which is the most respected and largest newspaper in China. And 95% of all the silk in the world comes from China.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're the masters with silk. They discovered silk 5,000 years ago. And the South China Post, for people who've been to China, for Chinese people watching, they know all about it. Highly reputable newspaper. And I'll bring down this article so the viewers can see it. And you have to be careful when you're buying silk, because there are some, use the word charlatans, but also very reputable companies who have been caught. They've bought in good faith. The buyers have bought in good faith what they thought was pure silk, and it's actually a silk mix, Tussa silk. They get cotton polyester, they polish it so it looks like silk. And say in a duvet, they have 40% silk. It won't be Mulberry very often. It'll be Tussa silk, which is a wilder, a raw silk, and they'll add 60% polyester to it. But they polish the polyester so it looks like silk.
How then do you verify, the Mulberry Silk Company verify the quality of the silk?
Because we breed our own silk.
Oh, you make it yourselves?
We breed our own silk.
Oh,
we have our own silk farms.
Straight from the horse.
And as I said, over the weekend, I did something which I was really pleased. I mentioned at the beginning of the program, I had a very beautiful, very elderly lady, Indian lady, come up to me when I was at a live exhibition in Glasgow over the weekend. She was asking me all the correct questions about silk. I knew from the questions she was asking me that she knew a lot about silk. And it turned out she had worked as a young person, and most of her life actually, in the silk industry in India. Now, Indians know a lot about silk, as you can imagine. They all wear silk saris, etc.
Which one, if you go to India or China, everybody wears
she was on holiday in Scotland visiting her family. And she came to the exhibition I was at over the weekend. And at the end of my little question and answer session, she bought 12 pillowcases to take back to India. She bought Chinese silk to take back to India, because although the Indian silk was good, not as good as Chinese.
No, for sure.
Nothing beats Mulberry silk. AAA grade Mulberry silk. Look it up and Google or Wikipedia.
Full length, unbroken.
Now remember, when you go into Google or Wikipedia and type in all about silk, they're not trying to sell you anything. They're just answering questions. And this is what Google will say. Word for word, within the silk industry, Mulberry silk is considered to be the king of silks. You cannot get better. That's what we're using here. Pure Mulberry silk, long fiber, AAA grade.
These are handmade, aren't they?
Handmade, sold with a 10-year warranty. No nonsense, money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, and that's highly unlikely, phone us up. And we will refund your money with the same speed and the same civility that we take it from you. By doing that, we have built our business from a tiny little back office in Vancouver 36 years ago. We now sell in 35 countries throughout the world. You're buying something that's approved by the United Kingdom Allergy Board. Anybody with allergies, don't think twice. Please do yourself a favor.
That's hard to get.
Buy this duvet.
The Allergy UK certificate has to be renewed every year. It's really hard to get. You've had yours renewed for how many years?
They do that 36 years now. They do that for a reason. Rob, very often you go in a place of business, there are certificates in the wall, they're brown with age. Right? They've been there for 40 or 50 years. And sometimes the companies who have these certificates, they let their standards drop. Not always, but sometimes. That cannot happen with us. This runs out in July 23rd of this year. We have to go through the whole process again before this is given to us. We are the only company, excuse me, currently selling silk duvets anywhere in Europe that has this coveted certificate. And we have it for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, 27 of them, New Zealand and Australia. So very often, you know, what satisfies the authorities in Canada won't satisfy the authorities in Ireland or New Zealand or Italy or France or Holland. But on this occasion, the quality of the product is so high, the manufacturing process is so perfect, they can find no fault.
Yeah.
That's why we have this and others do not.
Please check out. Well, if you want a chance of getting it, check out. I mean, if you don't want it, don't check out. Obviously, but if you don't want a better night's sleep, why would you not check? I don't know. I don't understand the logic of it. When I know that something's this good, I buy it. It's as simple. Particularly if I know I don't have anything that matches it. And if you haven't got Mulberry Silk already, nothing that I believe is available that is going to match the quality of this and the properties that this has that are going to help you get a significantly substantial better night's sleep. Why don't you check out and pay now for a better night's sleep?
Remember to check out your online basket and complete your order. Once you pay, it's on the way from Shop on TV.
You're with Shop on TV. I'm Rob Lock with an E. This is Ray Kennedy with a Y. Why? Because he's just that good. By the way, hi Rob and Richard. I've got a double duvet and it's the best money I've spent in a long time. I also have 2 of the pillows and 2 silk pillowcases from John in Glasgow. Thank you, John. I mean, everyone who gets this then goes, oh, Rob and Ray were actually telling the truth. Oh, they're actually right. Oh, it wasn't some TV con or some I don't know what people think, but you know, we all have our little quirks, and some
it's very,
people, you know,
the TV are governed by the ASA. You can't con anyone.
No, we'd lose our. We'd be taken. Well, ITV alone would take.
The fine would be horrific.
Could be millions.
And millions is the correct word.
Stuart says, do you put the duvet in a duvet cover or use it without? Up to you. If you've got a white colour scheme or tone scheme, because white isn't a colour, you can just use it as is. So I've got white at home. I've got white fitted sheet, white pillowcases, so I don't bother putting this in a duvet cover because it's white.
And if you do put it in a cover, the cover will not, as long as it's cotton, will not won't diminish the performance of the duvet.
No, exactly. And I was going to say, if you do, like for example, for the house in I was going to say Glasgow. What's going on? For the house in Warrington, I bought grey sheets, Egyptian cotton. I went to Amazon. You can get them from other places too, obviously. Fitted sheet was £13, and the duvet set, 2 pillowcases and king size duvet cover, 20 quid. I spent 30 quid on Egyptian cotton, 200 thread count. Yeah. The stuff at home is a higher thread count, but for here, I mean, 200 is still luxury. And the standard UK size bedding. So, but it has to be a natural fibre. Either, well, you can't really get silk bedding. Is satin natural fibre? No, it's not.
No.
So you need
satins are mixed.
What are the natural ones? Cotton,
and silk.
Cotton and silk.
Finish.
That's it. So Egyptian cotton or even regular cotton, you don't have to spend any more on just cotton. If you put anything that is a man-made fibre or a synthetic fibre rather onto the Mulberry silk, it's not breathable. It'll block the properties of the silk. Does that make sense? Pat says, been umming and ahhing for over a year, Pat. Goodness me. Purchasing a Mulberry silk duvet. I was worrying about ordering from TV shopping. I'd love to know why that is, because I suppose I can understand, but not from ITV surely or STV, wherever you're based. We are a partnership with ITV and STV. You know, this is the shopping show, their shopping show that we do here. So Ofcom rules apply, Advertising Standards Authority, ITV and STV's management. You know, we have to fact check and be absolutely accurate about everything. And also, we, as you know, we strive to bring you the best products at the best prices all the time. Market beating. We're almost always market beating. But I'm glad you finally took the plunge. Just ordered king duvet, 2 pillows and 2 pillowcases. Pat, do me a favour, right? It says Pat here. Oh, Patricia. Forgive me, Patricia. I just had Pat here. So Patricia. I'll do this for you and for you alone because I want to prove a point here. And as it's taken you over a year to purchase from us on TV, right? Now I know I said I would do this for other people, and I will for the but look, Ray covers the returns anyway. So if you weren't happy and it was outside of the return,
Where is Patricia from?
but where, I don't know, it doesn't say. So you know, obviously, if you slept on it and used it, then you wouldn't send it back to us. But Ray, if you wanted to return it, here's what I'll do. On this particular, if you get Patricia wanting to return her products, email me at the studio. What did you get? You got King Duvet, 2 pillows and 2 cases. I will personally give you your money back myself out of my own pocket, because I'm that convinced that you're going to go, oh my God, why did I wait a year? It's a year of your life you haven't slept as well, that you're going to from now on when you get this. But I want you to be happy, and I want to prove a point. Now, obviously, if you say to me, oh, I want my money back, then we will not allow you to order any more Mulberry Silk products from Shop on TV, because that's not fair, is it? To say, oh, I don't like it, and then go order more. So I'm just saying, I'm sure you're a very honest person, but there are some chances.
Yeah.
I've had a few chances, you know what I mean? But I mean that. I will make sure you're happy. I'll make sure every customer's happy. But I can't give away my life savings.
Well, Rob, the answer's simple. Well, sorry. The answer, a certain part of the answer is simple. What can I say to convince the viewer? All I can say is this. In this studio here tonight, there's no stock held in this studio.
No.
All the stock is sent from our warehouse in Glasgow. Mm-hmm. Right? The people in this studio, it's a new studio, they've bought a house for the staff to sleep in. Right? So they wanted some bedding for the house.
Yes.
This is the bedding they chose. They sell other bedding in this channel. This is the bedding they chose.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight,
No.
I brought down bedding valued at £1,700 for this house.
Yeah.
Ask yourself why, with the people, the professionals within this building
Yeah.
are surrounded by all types of bedding. Why did they spend £1,700
That's true.
on bedding to sleep under?
Yeah, so
and believe
yeah.
you me, that is 100% true.
There it is. Okay, so the double duvets, king duvets, so that's
4 kings,
199
8
times
pillows,
4, so that, yeah,
and a mattress.
8 pillows, so that 199 times 4 is 800. Pillows are 40 quid, so that was 8 of those. So that's 320. And then I know you brought a king mattress,
Yeah.
but I'd miscommunicated, and it's actually a double I needed. But what's a double mattress?
It's about £500, isn't it?
500 quid. So yeah, and that's all for our. That's just for that's for our work.
And that happens.
That's
in
not even our house.
I'm sure I've mentioned this 2 or 3 times tonight.
Yeah.
That happens in every particular TV studio I go to.
Yeah.
One person gets one, and eventually, sometimes it can take as long as a year, but every member within the studio buys them.
We've
Simple.
got some big updates for you. Stand by. I feel like I'm doing the Eurovision or something. One single left now. The last
that
person.
one, Rob.
There you go.
I'll buy it.
You buy that one. At 139. How many double? How many? Only 40% of the stock left on the double at £179. There's less than half the stock remaining of the king size at £199, and 20% of the super king has gone at £219. Mel says, just bought my 3rd duvet and treated myself to a pillowcase for my pillow. They've all changed my life, Mel says. I can finally sleep cool and light in summer and warm in winter. My daughter loves her pillow and tried to take it with her in a case. Amazing, thank you. Pete says, I appreciate that, Mel. Pete said, I had a Mulberry Silk duvet for 6 years and it's fantastic. Try it, you won't be disappointed. Thank you, Pete. And then Chris from Livingston near Glasgow says, hey, great show as always. I purchased a super king size duvet for my king size bed. Good call. A double duvet for my son's bed and 3 pillows the last time the Mulberry Silk products were on. I can honestly say this is the best duvet and pillows I have ever had.
Is that from Chris from Livingston?
Chris from Livingston.
Well, congratulations to Chris, the Livingston football team, who have just been promoted back to the SPL. They did wonderful.
Happy days.
Well done, Chris. Go and see them. Support your local team.
He says, I can honestly say it's the best duvet and pillows I've ever had. Does everything you said. My son, who's 16, after sleeping with the pillow and duvet for the past couple of weeks, could not disagree with everything I told him about the products. For a 16-year-old to actually agree with me about how good it is, it must be good. Thank you very much indeed, Chris.
For a 16-year-old to even talk to you.
Well, quite. But do you know what? It's interesting because I remember when my son David was a kid. And we bought him this bed from IKEA, I think it was, and it came with a really cheap mattress, rubbishy old mattress, and we'd give him whatever the basic, sort of bedding was. And he'd, Dad, I'm hot, and it's like, go to sleep. Yeah. Oh, I'm hot. Or in the winter, Dad, I'm cold. Go to sleep. Because we just spent absolute peanuts on bedding.
Well, people tend to do that.
Our kids,
people tend to do that. Not everybody, but they think, oh, the kids, they just get a little mattress or a bunk bed or something.
Yeah, they're tough.
Kids need a proper night's sleep as well. We all need a proper night's sleep. As I mentioned to you earlier, and when I was in the plane one time going to Canada to do a show, the doctor next to me said, people simply don't realize how important a good night's sleep is for the overall health and well-being. If you sleep well, you function better. You just have a better everyday existence.
Especially if you commute. There are signs on the motorway that tiredness kills. Mm-hmm. But I remember pulling all-nighters when I was doing GCSEs and A-levels, and you just can't function. No. I honestly, since I've been working at Shop on TV, I had sleep written out of my contract.
Yeah.
Or written into my contract that I'd never have any. I sleep about 5 hours a night. I get exhausted. Literally exhausted.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for Mulberry Silk, then at least the sleep I get is quality.
Yeah.
Like the last few nights sleeping on this backbreaker of a mattress without my Mulberry Silk bedding, I've barely slept at all.
You'll have a new mattress within a few days. Don't worry, Rob.
Oh no! And thank you for literally bringing all that. We did get some special treatment. We didn't have to wait for the postman to deliver it. We got Ray Kennedy to deliver it in person.
The postman came.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Honestly, I can't communicate to you how grateful everybody is.
And the important thing to remember when we're talking about Mulberry Silk, you buy it once. You're not going to have to replace it. Yeah. That's so important. People, they get tempted. They see this. You go in in my local supermarket, they were selling duvets, £12.50.
Yeah.
And now they were just junk, Rob. Absolute junk.
You know what I learned at the first shopping channel?
Yes.
The 3-letter one that's still going strong, and hi to any of my friends or colleagues that are still working there. Wonderful company. I loved it. And I learned, because the middle initial of their name stands for value. And the beginning stands for quality. And I learned that that value is basically price versus quality. So if you get something really good at a low price, you consider that value.
Yeah.
But we as consumers, and I'm a total sucker. I'll buy anything. I'm really, I love to go shopping. We see a big bundle of something, and it's like, wow, it's big.
Let's have some of that.
Low price, cheap, affordable, must be good. Not really.
Well,
not always. That's how they get you.
It's interesting. You're saying you love buying stuff. Yeah. I'm the same. Salesmen love buying stuff. I don't know why that is.
No, I know it's
I come in some.
But I'm a total tart when it comes to buying. I have to have the best of everything. I just do.
Why not?
Within my means. Within my budget.
Listen. You surround.
Now, can I just ask you? Just imagine, Ray.
Yes.
That I am an alien. I've just landed my spaceship outside from the planet Zlarg.
Right.
And I've walked into the studio in Warrington, and I've gone, Ray, please tell me, why should I buy Mulberry Silk? What would you tell me?
Well, most people...
5 minutes or less.
Right. And we'll go for less.
All right, then.
Right. Most people I speak to when I'm doing a live presentation, they all tell me the same thing. I would say 10% of all the people I speak to, face to face, they don't want one of my duvets.
Right.
The other 90, they're perfectly happy with the duvet they have in the bed.
They think they are, yeah.
No, they're perfectly happy, Rob. The other 90%, they all have the same problem. They get too hot in bed. Yeah. Not too cold, too hot. They're waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, Duvet off, duvet off, duvet on, duvet off. Now they're awake when they should be asleep. And the reason why they're awake, or a big part of the reason, they're too hot. Now, silk stops that happening.
Yep.
It keeps you warm in the winter, really warm, and it keeps you cool in the summer. And people say to me, how is that possible? How can it keep you warm
How is that possible?
1 minute and cool the next?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. It's Mother Nature. She's had the secret under lock and key for 5,000 years. Right. Now, this particular duvet we have, only 2 parts to it. Top cover, Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. So that's luxury. Anything above 180 is luxury. The filling within the top cover, AAA grade Mulberry silk, the king of silks, the absolute king of silks, the best of the best. So what we've done, it's quite simple, beautiful actually in its simplicity. We've taken the 2 most famous fabrics in the world. We've taken the top end, the highest grade of those fabrics. We've passed them to a company with a stellar reputation for quality, and they've turned those 2 fabrics into a wonderful duvet. Keeps you warm in the winter, cool in the summer. It'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. That's wonderful.
Up to,
if you share a bed, Rob, if you share a bed with someone who overheats and sweats, this is the duvet for you. Any lady going through the menopause, don't even think twice. Buy yourself one of these duvets. Sleep under it.
Yes.
Hot flushies, cold flushies.
If you're bedridden.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
If you're bedbound, buy yourself one of these. Unfortunately, bedbound. Buy yourself one of these. It's sold with a 10-year warranty. 10 years. If you buy it and you try it and you don't like it, we'll refund your money. The duvets we have in my bed at home are 29 coming up for 30 years old. Wash them as often as you want. It's long fiber silk inside. The silk will not change shape. It will not clump up. It won't go lumpy. You never have to shake it like this because all the silk moves one way or the other. It's anchored, it's stitched all the way through. There are no dust mites in it. That's not Raymond saying that. That's not Rob saying it. It has the Allergy Board certificate. The only duvet, to the best of my knowledge, currently being sold in the United Kingdom that has this duvet. And we have it for 35 countries. It really is a very special product. You must understand this is not an ordinary duvet. You can buy ordinary duvets in shops all over the United Kingdom. You can only buy this from myself at a live exhibition or from Shop and TV. And by doing that, we can keep the price low. We're offering this duvet this morning at a price, it's on the screen now, the price is slightly less than we were charging for it when we first sold it in television 22 years ago.
Now, how much would in your experience, and I know you've seen them, how much would a Mulberry silk, a proper, like yours, a proper 100% pure full strand Mulberry silk duvet cost you anywhere else?
I would say on average, probably, say, take a king.
Yes.
To get a top quality silk duvet, king. You're charging here $199 if I'm. That's really very good, you know, $199. I would say it would cost minimum £100. I would say to get a top quality one, £100 more. But here's £100 more at least. But here's something that happened to my son Martin. I live in Glasgow, and not this Christmas, last Christmas, the year before.
Did he give you his heart?
He went to a very large shopping centre in Glasgow, and there's a shop in that shopping centre who has a marvellous reputation for quality products, real top quality. And Martin went in to buy a duvet, a dressing gown, a house coat for his mum for Christmas. When he was in, he noticed they were selling silk duvets. So naturally, he went to have a look at them and he read the label. Now, what do you think they were charging, Rob, for a king duvet? Now, it's a reputable company. And they were doing nothing wrong. They simply had a markup that met their criterion. What do you think they were charging for a king?
Admittedly, I know this story, so I think, was it a 400?
No, it was £512.
Good grief.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, when Martin read the label to see the content of silk within that duvet,
Yeah.
there was only 12% silk in it.
12%.
That's a fact, Rob. Usually,
500 the rest of it just cotton.
well, what, as I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
what they do, they get a silk mix. They put all sorts of man-made fibers in with it, so they get a higher profit. So I'm not saying they're a bad company, exactly the opposite.
Sure.
They're a very good company.
Yeah.
But they're not heavily into silk like we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we breed our own worms. For instance, to give you an example, the reason why this duvet is special, the silk within the duvet, the reason why we have the allergy board certificate, that's a coveted certificate. We have to wash the silk before we put it into the duvet. So we wash it in filtered water, which has been filtered, and we can wash it 25, 30, 40 times before we are satisfied it's pure and clean and ready to be put into this duvet.
I can't believe
So it's special.
Sorry, so
Come on.
the fact is, if you do find something that's mulberry silk, check the content, because
Read the small print.
they can call that mulberry silk, and there's only 12. But this is 100%. Do you want to see this? I just did a quick search for mulberry silk.
Yeah.
Now, the first thing that came out, they're not duvets, they're mulberry silk duvet cover set. So you get 2 pillowcases in a mulberry silk duvet. How much do you think?
I don't know.
£1,089.
Well, that's not unusual.
Yeah. That's
The reason, and incidentally, for any viewer watching and saying, hold on a minute, come on now, Rob.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you why our price is so low. Normally, when you have a product, say the duvet or the pillow, ready to be sold to the public, right? You pass it to a distributor, who passes it to a wholesaler, who passes it to the shopkeeper or the retailer. Each one of those people add on a margin of profit.
Yeah.
Now, they're doing nothing wrong. They're just honest people trying to make a living. So they add on a margin of profit. The shopkeeper usually puts on the biggest margin of profit. Now, we've eliminated those 3 people. In every country, we only have one customer. Our customer in this country is Shop and TV. By doing that, we can keep the price low. By doing that, we can sell you a duvet this morning at a price which is less than we were charging for it in TV 22 years ago. The buyers here in Shop and TV deserve a pat on the back.
Yeah.
They're tough, they're tenacious, they've bought them at an advantageous price, and they've passed the saving on to the customer. It's a wonderful value, 10-year warranty.
I've just been, apologies, I wouldn't normally do this, I've just been flicking through the web. The lowest I could find a king mulberry silk duvet for is $399, although it's currently on sale at $266. But I'm just trying to see if it's full length. I don't think it's full length fibres.
$399 is about right, £100 more.
Yeah. I mean, it's, look.
And very often, you know, when it's they say it's on sale, they've only got one.
Yeah. And the fact is that you've not all the descriptions online, and also, I mean, that was from a company.
Well, I told you
before,
happening all the time with a pillowcase.
Yeah.
People are telling me all the time they're buying pillowcases on the internet. When they get them delivered, there's only silk on one side,
Yeah.
cotton on the other side.
Yeah.
Our pillowcases for £35. They've got silk on both sides, long fibre mulberry silk.
I can show you. Look, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll do it when we finish this lovely fan. Oh, by the way, these are all great for caravans, RVs.
If you have a motorhome or a caravan,
camping,
glamping as well.
Yes.
Well,
clamping.
We exhibit at every major caravan show in Britain. We have done for 66 years. I love dealing with caravanners because, you know, they're nice people, and let me tell you something, they buy lots of silk and they recommend it to their friends. And when they buy it, it's light, it's, you know, it's comfortable to sleep under, they can wash it. They like quality caravan people, I must tell you that.
Yeah.
They really do.
I love the outdoors. I love I always wanted. I thought if everything went to heck, I'd just get a motorhome
And take off
and travel around the States and the world. I just want to show you. There are the prices. Again, there's still a single.
I'm going to have to buy that.
30. Well, do you know what? Save a fortune on your central heating in the winter, and snuggle up under a single duvet in front of the telly. That's what my son and I do. You can put it longwise. Only 30% of the double left, only 40% of the king left, and what was the Super King? And a quarter of the stock gone on the Super King. Super Kings are, not everyone's got a Super King bed.
Yeah.
I realise that's so.
I've got a king bed at home.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Most people do have a king.
Yeah, king. Yeah.
But here are the pillowcases. This is the Arctic Blue. It is front and back 100% silk. But remember, inside, one of the sides has been sprayed with a special process with cotton to make it make it rough, grippy.
To make it grip the pillow.
Otherwise, your pillow would just go literally going out the side.
Yeah.
£35 for pure silk. That's a lot of silk.
Well, if you went in to say you went into a shop, let's say...
Oh, it's so nice. I want to stroke it all night.
If a lady went into a shop and bought a silk blouse, she'd probably pay, let's be sensible, if she went to, say, Marks and Spencer's, you probably pay 45, 50, 60 pounds for a silk blouse.
So, yeah.
Now, there's the same amount... there's the same amount of silk in that pillowcase as there is in a silk blouse, and it's only £35.
What's that saying about a silk purse?
Pig's ear.
What is it? Pig's ear and a silk. But what's the saying?
Can't make a silk purse out of a pig's ear.
Oh. Fair enough.
We've tried that. Doesn't work.
Yeah. That would be great.
We have to breed the worms.
You do. Not applicable in this case. And again, you're buying from a company that this is. I only learned that all the years we've been working together, Ray. I've just learned this tonight. You're buying from a company. It's one of the most prolific mulberry silk companies in the world. 35 million people around the world roughly that actually own mulberry silk bedding.
At least.
But also, as a company, they're not buying the silk from a merchant. They're literally farming it themselves. So you're getting it straight from to keep the farmyard analogies.
And by doing that, I know we're running out of time. I'll just explain very quickly. We feed the worm exclusively in mulberry leaves. 3 different colours of mulberry leaves, red, black and white. If you feed the worm in the red and black, you get very high quality mulberry silk.
Yes.
If you feed it in the white mulberry leaf, you suddenly take a step up. You get AAA grade mulberry, and if you go into Google or Wikipedia, type in all about silk, they'll tell you mulberry is the highest grade, the best silk in the world. AAA grade is the best of the best.
What percentage?
They call it the king of silks.
What percentage of the silk sold in the world for products, for purses, for blouses, for things like that, and for bedding? What percentage do you know would actually be mulberry silk? Is it in the minority?
Very much so. Most of the silk you buy in the world is Tussa silk, which is vastly inferior.
Yeah.
But I keep saying to the customer, a potential customer, don't listen to what I'm saying or what Rob's saying. Check it on your computer and then come back and buy. You'll find most of the bedding, virtually all of the bedding you buy is Tussa silk, which is vastly inferior to mulberry. Then you get raw silk, then you get wild silk. But Tussa is what they use in cheaper bedding, cheaper silk bedding.
Right.
But when you buy mulberry, you're in the top of the tree.
All silk is
top of the tree.
Top of the tree.
Rob, it's the real McCoy.
Real McCoy. Not all silk is created equal.
Correct. As simple as that.
Ray, it's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I've enjoyed it tonight too.
Good, yeah, and thank you again for your kindness, your generosity, your decency, and they broke the mould when they made Ray Kennedy. I can tell you that. And I have to say, your children are always a testimony, or a testament rather, to the parenting that they've received. And you've got an amazing set of kids.
I'm very happy. And the 4 boys have all turned out reasonably normal.
Reasonably normal, yeah. Same with my son, reasonably. Right, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, we have a launch of a brand. I just want to sit here stroking this. Of a brand new show, genuine Hatton Garden jewellery We have about 30 items. We'll never get through them all, but they are gold. Look at these. Gold, real diamonds, black diamonds. The prices have not gone down yet. Those are the full prices. We've got bracelets, necklaces. There is a little bit of silver, I think. I'm not doing the show, Charlie will, but these are all genuine precious metals, gemstone jewellery, all from Hatton Garden in London, from the Jewellery Quarter, and they are direct to us. So they're probably about 50% lower than retail prices. About 40 minutes past midnight, approximately, 20 to 1. So make sure you tune in for that. If you want to buy gold at unbeatable market prices, then tomorrow night is the show for you. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And I will. That's it for me for this week. I'm also off next week, so you won't see me now. Sorry if I'm breaking any hearts here, for about 2 weeks. But I am still working behind the scenes. I'll probably do some TikTok with Shop on Sam at some point. But from everyone here, good night.